with you with the fake friends. Hitting on doors, that's a defense. Rolling with all, that's our friends. It me change you, let me peachin'. With our bull shaking to my maybe drop ins. So they don't buy, and I say, so they don't buy you to keep playing, baby, tell me what you want. Julian, I know you ain't from. Ever since remember we been knocking at the door. Y'all been moving paper, we be running up the school. Y'all before that pillar, we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't cool. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Pop it, baby. Come roll with me. As times relax, my mind's relaxed. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, sure enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I put it up. Whoever let you go must be them as far. Wait far. Girl, you so fine, I'll pay for. Fly you first class to the lake bar. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Because I don't care what you say. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. My nigga, I killed it. Night long. This the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focus, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga. Prophet the One. Follow me on all Instagram sites. PROPHETTHE.
Yo, what it do? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Chef Shapino. Hold on 1 second. Things are looking a little bit off kilter right now. You know, somebody told me that I tend to generate a little more resonance with a little piece of my art showing over here. So I'm going to show my art, or some art. It's not my art. I didn't do this, but what's good, YouTube? It's a blessing to be able to have an opportunity to chill, fellowship with y'all tonight. It's your boy, Chef Shupino. All right. Some people call me Chef Pacino, and I took it. You feel what I'm saying? You mix me with Al Pacino. I'll take that. He's dope. But yeah, it's Chef Shupino. That was my dad's nickname that was given to me by my grandmother. So I'm Shupino Jr. All right. CHOUPINO. Tonight's a beautiful night. Flowers and rocks of the garden. Tonight is a wonderful night. Why? This is a night where I celebrate a very special person. I've celebrated a very special person, or we celebrate a very special person tonight. You get what I'm saying? And when we say we celebrate, we. Why? Sometimes we'll sit down and we'll eat, and we'll sit down and we'll recognize the chef. Sometimes we don't recognize the guy that made the plate. We don't recognize the ones that designed the forks that allow that nice piece of shrimp, lobster, filet mignon, broccoli or quinoa, okay? If you're a vegan, that makes those things roll off of those implements to touch your tongue in a certain way that makes those flavors pop. The real genius. So we're going to be doing some of that tonight. And tonight is also going to be almost me giving you like my own little birthday party, if you will. What do I mean by that? This is my first starring role in this project called Life or Death, the live graphic novel experience. Funny story, I was an extra in a couple other movies. I actually worked on the back end production of Above the Rim. It was filmed at my high school, and long story. And I was an extra in what you call it, New Jack City, the New Year's Eve scene with Flavor Flav. But those are extra roles. I actually have a starring or supporting cast member role in this production called Life or Death. It's amazing. And I'm proud to be able to be a part of it. So before I bring the people that were pivotal in making this magical project take place, I have to do the love taps. You already know what it is. So please allow me a moment to shed some love, spread that love to our garden that's here tonight. And for the record, I'm not trying to be aloof. I'm sporting these Yves Saint Laurent shades just because this new lighting setup, I'm still trying to get used to it. So you see, I'm here, I'm aware, skin's still smooth. All right. After Frank get up, man, my skin won't look as smooth, but that's his ministry. Tristan Draper first, my man. What's going on, brother? Dawn Frank, I love you, sis. That's my sister right there. Dope moderator. And then, of course, the guy that I mentioned. He's glad to be here, but trust me, once you finish, you'll be glad that you were able to touch the hem of his garment. Sincere Brown. Hello, everyone. Sitting in for Sincere. Life took place, life happens. So Sincere actually had to handle some business, right? Because we don't feed Sincere yet. But guess what? We got Mama Sincere sitting in his place, driving for us. So if anybody's going to know how special he is, she's going to be able to speak to it. You feel me? So I see you, Mama Sincere, my man, my editor extraordinaire. All right, Danique Anthony. If you know anything, holla at the homie. He knows what it is. Sophia Sharif. Man, listen. She's the only girl. They had to remake a R&B song for her? It goes like this. Pretty brown eyes. Right? And then it goes, pretty blue eye. For the record, y'all, if I sounded low before, I forgot to turn my mic around. All right? But for her, it's pretty brown eye, pretty blue eye, beautiful sister. Our garden, every flower in our garden is a beautiful flower. And if you don't think you're a beautiful flower, you are a beautiful flower as well, even if you're a Venus flytrap. Mika Marcel, what it do? I see you. I saw you backstage, Derek Quick. If y'all don't know this guy, look Look at that picture right there, man. Come on, now. Come on now. We're going to be doing the Shoot Your Shot with Derek Quick show next week. If Derek Quick happens to be married, I apologize, Mrs. Quick. Charge it to the head and not the heart. Tony Poe, what's up? I know you got that StreamYard link. You know this is your show tonight, family. Who else we got? Queen Nita. Love you, Queen Nita. You always on deck. It ain't happening if you're not around. Let me make sure, because love is important. Oh yeah. She's one of our honorary Nighthawks. She is our night dove. All hot. It's all hot air, a.k.a. Andrea Lynch. Mrs. Married. Yes. You already know. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. My guy. What it do? What it do? Yes. All right. So, hey, Courtney Lene, you already know that backstage pass is yours, Flower. Okay. A1 Day 1. There we go. Quantum Love, our metaphysician in the spot. She's going to give you that perspective that you ain't think about. Yes, yes, yes. So, you know, I kind of fashion in the style of old school hip hop DJs. You know, I'm an old ass dude, but nonetheless, before I bring somebody up, I want to break something down to you guys. At some point a couple months ago, I got a email from a brother that stated they had been watching some of the shows that I was a part of, and they were putting on a production, and they explained the character arc of one of their characters in that production. And he stated that there was something about, you know, me that resonated within, you know, what he was saying, and that connected me to that character for him. You know, evil genius stuff. I can't speak to his mind, but, you know, the person that makes the soup, they throw all kind of shit in the soup. And you wonder, like, why are they putting that in there? Onion powder, bro? But the soup tastes crazy. So you call me chef, but I'm about to bring on the chef of this thing here. My man, our brother, Frank B. Goodin II. Marco.
That's what's up.
What's going on, family?
What is happening, family? Man.
Chilling. Talk to me, man. What's going on with you?
Well, it's just great that it's great to be here. I can tell it's good to be in a spot where you can tell that people really, really appreciate you, you know, for who you are. And that's what I'm getting right now. You got some people in your fam here tonight who just ride or die with you. They love you for who you are. And I see nothing but positivity. And it's just good to be up, you know, right in the middle of this. So thank you for having me, giving me this chance to talk about what we're doing together with Life or Death.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. You know, it's I'm just being me, you know, and I was able to find a certain level of what I call resonance and absorption, where people are willing to listen. Folks are willing to listen, and those folks that tend to listen, they're able to absorb some of the message I'm coming to the table with. So even if it sounds like something else, what I'm seeing is people are like, wait. Even though it sounds crazy, hold on, this is chef. Let me just finish letting him cook. And he's going to come with something at the end. Mm-hmm. So what's the beautiful thing about this is what I believe is that we've created was a layer of trust. A layer of trust that even if what I say sounds like some straight bullshit, you're like, hold on, that chef, he's gonna land that plane somewhere. He's gonna land that plane in paradise. You know, so that's really what it is, man. It's trial and error, and it's a level of consistency, you know. But bro, we gotta talk, man. You know, this is not about the chef or the Nighthawks tonight. This is about this beautiful thing that you have going on right now. And I really would like you to share your greatness with the world.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. I'm really just trying to move forward. I'm not gonna proclaim myself great at anything per se. And what I will say is, I just want to do sort of what it is that I do. I'm a filmmaker, um, and that makes me a visual storyteller. And that's my thing. That's my thing first and foremost. And I'm very blessed to have this opportunity to bring something that really was originally written for the screen in this way. It was written many years ago, and it's kind of continued to move forward in some unexpected and interesting ways. And then boom, this opportunity for this vision to come to life in the way that it is right now. I'm just thankful, and we're gonna talk all about it. But life or death, um, I'm just very, very, very blessed to be able to work with you and the whole team of creators to have this opportunity to really create something that I think is going to have an impact, on people. And really, that's what it is, creating a story that's bigger than just, out of the mind of Frank Goodin per se. Um, it's much bigger than that. And to do it in a way that allows for other people's talents to come through, and like I said, make something that's bigger than all of us. I'm blessed, and I'm happy to be here to talk about it, and I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, man, this is your show tonight, bro. This is your show tonight. So I'm gonna kind of stir the pot up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give some of the folks that's here how this wonderful amalgamation of creativity and talent and mental engineering came about?
Mm-hmm. So I don't want to. I'm gonna take it back, but I'm not gonna bore us because I want to keep this thing, nice and moving and flowing. What I will say is that the story of life or death, and I'll talk about it in terms of its story. The story of life or death came about after my viewing and taking in and breaking down and really digesting The Wire. The Wire HBO series, absolutely brilliant series. And many people will put The Wire as a television series up against anything ever produced in terms of television. And it's in many people's top 5, in terms of television series. It's in many people's top 3, maybe even a few people's number 1 show ever produced, and it is that good.
Yeah.
And in The Wire, it as you've seen it, the elements of The Wire deal with what's happening out here in these streets. And it has some really, really profound and unique and truthful stories, to be honest with you, many of them about what's going on in the streets. Well, that had an impact on me because one of the things that I saw was missing, that didn't ring quite true, is a certain element of spirituality. Meaning, characters in The Wire, we all know if we Black and we live in this country, if our parents aren't necessarily, aren't spiritual, be that Muslim, Christian, whatever religion that they follow, then we know somebody in our family, many people. And the further back in our generations we go, the more we know, and so that was absent in The Wire largely. We had one character who had a grandmother who went to church, but generally, you know what I'm talking about.
Omar's granny. The church crowd. My bad. That was a crazy episode.
And that was pretty much it that you saw in terms of, so that was something that was layers distant from the story. And so for me, that had the effect of characterizing us as a people in an inaccurate way, and in some ways subhuman. or inhuman in some ways. And I don't know if that was necessarily the intent, but them street cats, um, it just was a layer that was absent. So me being who I am, and me wanting to always chase truth in drama, part of the reason why I became a filmmaker is because I wanted to tell stories, narratives that resonate with people due to truth. They find something truthful in it, and then hopefully inspire people with it. And that that was the beginning. That was the inspiration to say, hey, I want to write something like The Wire that reaches out to our people, our young brothers that are on the streets, but do it in a way that's a little bit more that is a little bit more well-rounded, and then do it with a purpose as well. Not just tell a story about them, but let's add some purpose to the storytelling. So
Perfect.
that was the brainchild.
That's funny. On our show called the Nighthawks, what we do is one of the main things, and one of the younger members, it was me and two young G's that are on the show. One of them is 100 Watts, Finesse Visions, and the other is Victor Freeze Music. And Victor, one of the things early on in the game is he asked me, he's like, yo, G, we talk a lot and we philosophers in the way we move. I want to make sure that we have action steps so we're not just sitting here, smoking and talking in the clouds. So in terms of the action steps of what this project is and how it came about, I want you to tell me, because obviously, I understand you're a Christian, right?
Yeah,
But
that's right.
without question, I am too. I'm literally the grandson of two, majorly known and pivotal, Haitian Pentecostal reverends.
And
One of them was the minister of the ports of Haiti, and the other one was known to perform exorcisms. Yeah, get what I'm saying? And they both respected each other. They were literally like W.E.B. Du Bois or Dubois and Booker T. Washington of religion in Haiti, but they both had the ultimate respect. And literally, that's why one of their sons was able to marry one of their daughters. So I want you to tell me about the creature that created the craft, because this is craft. I understand the project. The folks in the audience, may not fully understand what's going on, but bro, you are a special individual.
Thank you.
I want to know about what kind of things stirred your mind. We are, on this channel, we allow the brothers to get vulnerable, and it's a safe place for that. Like, I know you talked about The Wire, but there was something else. There was something else that kind of made this thing real for you. Sometimes the greatest things come out of pleasure, but sometimes even greater things come out of a pain or a longing or a loss. So, if you feel comfortable, talk to me about the feelings that kind of brought you to creating something as great as this.
Well, I I'd definitely be very transparent and truthful. That for me, what's important is I do strive for obedience. I strive for obedience. And when I accepted Christ and made that decision for myself, and began to study deeply, one of the things that I personally came to was a sense of personal accountability to God, and um, and seeking and striving to basically do what He says. Obedience. There's an old Hebrew word that's used in the Bible a whole lot, hupakoe, Hupakoe, hupakoe. And it means, every time it's used in the Old Testament, it means to hear and obey, to hearken, to hear and obey. And it's the two things together. And it's used in the way of the way that you might, a child hears a parent. When I tell you to do something, you talk to your child and you just give them something to do, and you say, "Hear me." It's they respond back, "Yes, sir," or they're letting you know, because when they hear you, you expect obedience, and it's instant as soon as they hear. And so for me, that concept runs really, really deep for me, where I just want to be accountable, and I want to do what is pleasing in the eyes of my Heavenly Father. So what that means for me is I've been given a talent, my talent, and it was given by Him, and really this direction by Him also, um, to tell stories. Like, for me, there's power in the way that I tell stories coming from Him, and it's much more powerful for me to to tell a lesson in the way that I tell stories, visual storytelling, than me talking. Other people, their power is in telling stories verbally or some other things. For me, God gave me the talent to be able to do this, and I have to answer to that. And so for me, I'm always looking for a way to use what I have in some way to influence or inspire people in a way that's pleasing to my Heavenly Father. So for me, that nugget is obedience. I can never just do something that is just of the world, tell a story. I'll never be able to get out here and just do a Batman, or a Marvel movie, or some movie that does not in some way, shape, or form at least lay a seed and point people into the direction of the truth of Christ and the truth of God. So that's that side of it. That's that side of it.
Okay. All right. All right. So before I bring somebody else on, I'm about to dig a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an artist. I'm in a recording studio. I also have been, pivotal in some major projects, recording projects behind the scenes. I worked on Michael Jackson, Dangerous, Luther Vandross, Love Deluxe. Sade, Love Deluxe, Luther Vandross, Power of Love. I was literally there when we signed Groove Theory. I was in the studio. I've worked on a lot of projects. And one of the things when you're behind the scenes you think about is this idea I have. Are they going to listen to it? Is this the one? I'm a recording artist as well as I ghostwrite. I'm not going to give names because I still got active NDAs, right?
Okay.
The thing is, there's times where you're like, man, they ain't going to like this, but something inside you says, no, go, go, go. Tell me about that go moment. Tell me about one of your go moments. Because folks don't understand. This is not just something that's just like willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm.
When you face adversity is one thing, but when you face adversity and conflict within yourself, it's a whole different beast.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about, can you share with the folks maybe a doubt that you had about the project early? And
My life or death.
Yes.
It's funny. It's just about, because you're asking me a question. I'm just being 100% real with you. The doubt has not entered into who I am for a long time. In fact, I'll say the last time, I'll just use this kind of word, doubt or uncertainty. I'll say that the last time I really felt it was while I was shooting my first feature film, Love Trap. And I invite people to watch Love Trap, because it's on right now. It's on YouTube Movies. You just Google it, Love Trap, my name, you'll see it pop up. It's a beautiful love story that is interesting and unique in and of itself. And so while we were shooting Love Trap, that was my first time ever creating a full narrative feature. And so when you create that and you do everything you can to do the best that you can on it, that's your baby. That was the first time creating my own little baby, right? And so now it's time to really put it out there for the first time. First creation, first feature film. You're taking it to film festivals, and that was during that moment for Love Trap. First screening, it was our audience is going to, how you see it, and how, you just know how you see it, but you just know how other people are going to receive you, baby. Once that hit, I didn't look back on anything else that I did, including Life or Death. So, like, real talk, like when you talk about Life or Death, like I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt that people are going to receive this story. I know it. For me, the humility comes into, can I personally am I doing everything I can to make sure that I'm doing it justice across the board? So all these aspects, in terms of writing, making sure that all the themes are where it needs to be, in terms of finding people like you. That's an interesting story. And yeah, and you were being a little humble. You are one of the main characters. You are a lead character. There are 5. You're one of them. So it's, you kind of mention yourself as supporting role, and you kind of hesitated when you were saying lead role or supporting. You're one of the 5 lead characters. There are 5 of them. And so running across and going out and finding people like yourself to lend your talents, which for you as yet undiscovered, in a lead way. But to me, that's where it's that okay, I know what I want to do, and I feel real good about what I'm doing, but the uncertainty is in, okay, just how is this gonna turn out? Like, okay, here we go, God. Like, because the reason why I don't have that is because I'm at peace about who I am with my relationship to God, and so I give it all to Him. I am at peace is a good word, really, for it. I'm at peace. I'm at peace because I'm gonna give it to God, and I'm gonna let God take it where He will have it, whatever it is. And so, so I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of times many creators do have moments of doubt. It's a common thing. It's just that for me, I don't have it as it relates to what I do. And that's just being real.
And I understand what it is, with this whole thing, just in terms of making movements and stuff. I was just hoping, I could kind of tailor it into a tale for folks to understand, even if you had doubts. But I gotta lie, I can't deny the answer you gave, because moving with that level of conviction, it doesn't mean that you never had doubts. It just means that at this particular point in the game, doubt has been eliminated from your purview. Yes, so I might have asked you before, because we know this project, this is not something that started a couple of months ago, right? So can you, as a matter of fact, let me do this, because I don't want to leave my folks sitting in the backstage, because one of them is actually, this is his house too. This, we have a group called the Nighthawks. Even though it's Chef Shapino's channel, I have 2 brilliant brothers that actually, we run a show called the Nighthawks together. One of them is named Victor Freeze. The other one is 100 Watts, right? So what I'm gonna do is bring my man, Victor Freeze, AKA Just Vic, on deck. What's going on, my brother? You're mute. Don't keep flowing.
I said, what's good, my brothers? How y'all feeling? Everybody good tonight? Can you hear me all right?
Chilling, man. So, normally we do brainstorming and all of that good stuff. You ain't getting any brainstorm for this one, because, even though we are normally the Destiny's Child pause of this thing, right? Me, you, and Watts. Tonight we got
you got to figure out a boy band. We
got Kelly sitting in the audience.
Okay, I'm tired of being Kelly.
Look, you and Watts could fight over who Kelly or Michelle. How about that? We Destiny Child still, damn it.
Going solo.
But yeah, man. So I wanted to bring you up because I told you about some of it, the audition part, but you didn't get the whole breadth of it. And of course, after the promo part of the show is done, you and I are gonna still be here. So I want to be able for us to talk and even, you never know, break down some of the things we catch from, Mastermind Frank over here. All right.
Roger that.
And we got Sincere Brown, aka Mama Brown on deck.
Hello.
What's going on, Mama Brown?
Hello.
How you guys doing?
We're good. We're blessed. And
Amazing.
Happy to be able to fellowship with you tonight. And ladyship, is it fellowship when it's later? We fellowshipping, all right? And let the Me Too folks cancel me later. But look, I wanted to thank you for whatever it is that you did within your realm of as a mother, as the nurturer, as the natural culture bringer, as we know that mothers do, the artistic bringer, the culture bringer to our children. Because guess what? Something made your son talented enough to be a part of this thing we got going on here. So
Absolutely.
Since he's not here, we can't salute his brain. We finna salute your ovaries.
You are a mess. I love it.
The Brooklyn Best is part of me.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Sincere is very, very talented, and we're just so proud to be a part of this project. Frank just said so many, I think, good things that just touch us all as far as just the basic concepts and principles that we live by, from day to day. And, it's like when God lined you up with people, you're where you're supposed to be with the people that you're supposed to be with. And it's awesome because me and Sincere felt that, when having a conversation with Frank, and even just the whole concept of this project. Like, Sincere is 15 years old, but he is an example, of those young Black males that we have and what they struggle with from day to day. And so there are a lot of things that they face. And being a mom, and thank God, I'm married, my husband, he contributes a lot. So at night when I'm frustrated with how do a woman talk to a boy to help him to be a man, I count a lot on my husband, and he dives right in there. He gives me a way to say it. We pray on it together. And we talk to our boys. I have 2 boys actually. And I don't want to go too long, but Frank and I and Sincere, we had a conversation about, this project and some things that, we were experiencing. And just 2 or 3 weeks ago, Frank, Sincere and his brother, who's a year older, had planned to go to this party. It was New Year's Eve, actually. And they didn't go to the party. Last minute, they decided to come home. 20 minutes after they walked in the door, a young guy who they were supposed to be meeting at the party was shot and killed, 15 years old. They were at a party. The people who came to the party, they were not invited, but unfortunately, these kids posted it on social media. And, it's just so relevant to what we're seeing, what we're going through. And I just thank you for being obedient to God, to follow him and be obedient to him to put this project out. I really think it's a good thing. And I'm just excited. And I just can't wait, to see the response and the impact it has on everyone.
Yeah, and for the record, any of the folks that are, maybe atheist, agnostic, or non-holy roller or blah, 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 just understand from what I see about the project, just it's going to hit a little different. It's going to hit different. You know, we always do rabbit holes on the show where you think it's going one way, but then we end up dropping you into a rabbit hole that pretty much changes the color of the lens and your perspective. This is what this brother's doing. It's just his heart is in a certain place, you know, and that's the impetus or the fuel to drive him. But it's definitely something special, man.
I agree with what you're saying. I do believe it's going to hit different. And see, I always feel real funny. And this is for everybody here as well as in the panel. I feel funny talking about my project in a certain type of way because it's my project, right?
Yeah, like, oh, my baby, she can sing. Oh,
right.
She can dance. Oh, she know that math. She know her fractions, girl.
Yes. Exactly.
You don't want to be the annoying proud parent.
Right. I'm super highly conscious of that.
Yeah, but if your kid is Superman, bro, you got to take that.
So it's one of these things where I absolutely have to just co-sign and with what you're saying is and I invite everything that that people hear about the project and things that we talk about the project. Check our fruit, check it, show up and watch it and see it for yourself and see if the things that we're talking about are accurate or not and see if we're full of it or not, because I agree 100%. It's going to hit different. It's just going to hit different. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. I'm going to talk about the project and all that, but I really want people to receive it from where they are, wherever you are. You could be, like you said, there might be people who are watching this who are flat out, straight up atheists. That's totally cool. You might be agnostic. You might be Christian. You might actually be Jewish or Catholic or Muslim, wherever you are, you know, or another religion, wherever you are, just come see it for yourself and check that fruit and see if what we're talking about, if we just blowing smoke, if we're just talking. You know, I invite that. And so I'm just looking forward to that.
Nice. So I know we got Vic in the spot, and you know, Vic has kind of been, you know, I only gave him so much because, you know, he kind of thinks like me, and I didn't want to kind of unrabbit hole the rabbit holes of the plot and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Vic, I kind of told you about the audition, but you know, you have the open floor. You can ask Frank whatever you want to ask, get some clarity.
I'm more of an observer. What the brother said earlier, though, that did resonate, was that it's been a long time since he had doubt. And that's something that a lot of people can't claim. So that just tells you who you're dealing with and what mind frame. Like, he had to even try to remember the last time he had doubt.
That's a good problem to have, ain't it?
You know what I mean? not recognizing your arena or the hand you've been dealt, but doubt, because that doubt will paralyze you, will keep you from moving, and keep you thinking too long and second guessing yourself.
So true.
That word.
So, question for you, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of give the folks a little backstory on the project itself?
Mm-hmm. I can do that. And if at what point too, just to throw it out there, I do want to at some point characterize for people what they're actually kind of in for when Saturday comes. So whenever that is, I want us to get that because we're doing a lot of talking around it, and you might be taking it somewhere with it. But I definitely want people to know, you know, a little bit about what this experience is going to be about. In terms of the backstory of the project, you mean the actual story that I'm telling?
Well, you know what? I want to go. How about this? Because even though, yes, it's a chef platform, you are the creative mastermind. So you got the turntables in front of you. You scratch it like you want. So I want you to give them the walk that you want to take them down the road. That's perfectly fine.
Well, okay. So one of the things I'll say is that what I think is good for us to make sure that people understand, who are watching now and the people who will be watching this later, is okay, what is it that you're actually seeing? Because or going to see. Our premiere episode is this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be on the Life or Death channel. And people are gonna, show up there, and they're gonna be like, okay, well, what is it? What is Life or Death? Is it a movie? Is it a play? Is it a what's happening here? So I want to characterize it a little bit. When you show up, what you will see is, I like to, now I'm talking about it like this. Imagine a stage play, but for the screen. Imagine a stage play, but for the screen. When you go to a stage play, you see props, you see live performances, and hopefully you get a good story that is involving, that makes you think, that makes you feel something that you resonate with. Well, that's what Life or Death is, except that in this case, our space is a virtual space. We're meeting on YouTube. And what you will see is a collection of talented people from all over this country, all working together in a creative way. Not in a casual way where we kind of maybe, are discussing things from our heart, but instead in a creative way where there's, the story, and we're contributing with our actors, with the score composer, with the person who created the illustrations, and with myself editing, where the first thing you're going to see is the people coming together, and we're going to build our performance live in front of everybody. So the actors are going to show up, and right now we're canned up, but all you're going to see is when we do it, when we get started, you're just going to see everybody's voice, the icon. We're not going to be cammed up. And you're going to see and hear me work with our talent to build the performance of what we're going to do for episode 1. I've broken this whole story down into 17 different episodes. This is just the first one. So for every Saturday for the next 4 months and some change, we're going to be watching the story of Life or Death unfold in front of us. So the first thing you're going to see is the live actors going over the lines, rehearsing. Then once we get where we need to be with the performance being built, the second stage will be, now you will see them actually perform that over the material that I've created already, which is the animated illustrations, and with the score, with, Foley, with the sound effects, all of that playing while a different kind of acting here, because our voice actors are going to have to pay attention to what they're seeing on the screen, and they're going to have to follow along. And so that's going to be fun. All of this is going to be in a fun kind of environment. And one of the coolest parts about this, besides being able to see a live performance and see how it's built, working with the talent, besides being able to see a story unfold in front of you, is the interactive part. You all will be able to participate. Now, I got the story down pat, but I'm also open to a little improv. And so there are going to be some parts here where we're working with the talent, we're working with the actors, and the people in the chat might have an idea or two about, hey, why not, have it come out like this, have a person, and I'll be paying attention to the chat as much as I possibly can. And there might be a nugget in there where someone now in the chat who's vibing into what's happening contributes something to the show, and now that's a part of the show. And this has already happened in callbacks already. We have 2 characters in this piece that were named by someone who was watching. When I wrote them.
I remember that too.
You remember that happened live.
You're like, wait, we can choose our own name? I was like, shit, I want to change my character name to Optimus Prime. Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to that.
Jesus Jr.
See, and it's funny, now don't take it personal if I say thank you for your suggestion. We're gonna keep it moving. Don't take it personal. Because I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of stuff. But the point is, for me, is that the opportunity is there for people to actually participate and help create this. So this is just not a me thing completely, or even an us thing in terms of the inside performing. it is a we thing. We're going to all come together and be able to actually create something, again, that the sum total is bigger than any of us could do by ourselves. And you're just going to have to trust me in the ability to quarterback this thing and move it forward the way that I'm being led to move it forward. So then after we do that, and it's going to be some nice surprises. I can't wait. It's going to be some nice surprises. Then after we do all that, then it's completely interactive. The practice has been done. The scene has been performed. We've had a lot of fun, and it's very entertaining in doing it. But then after that, now we open it up for whoever's in the chat to either join up or ask questions, ask me questions, the creator, or why this, why that, or react to something that they've seen, or ask questions of the talent. Well, your character did this. Would you do it like this? Type thing. So at the very end, we open it up for the audience to be able to interact directly with the creators. When have you ever gotten a chance to do that? Going to a movie or even going to a stage play? The direct interaction. So I feel like a lot of things about this project will happen that are unique and special, and it can kind of only happen because of this YouTube environment, that we're in right now. It's kind of making this possible. I'm blessed to be able to work with, like, Tony Poe is in the house here. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. That's the picture behind me. Tony Poe is in Seattle, Washington. You can't get any farther away from me than Seattle, Washington. But we working together on this project, though, on YouTube. So it's a lot of special things going on, I think, with this project, and I can't wait till we bust it through. So thanks for giving me that chance to kind of characterize, okay, what is it that people are seeing? Because I think that's a big deal.
I mean,
shout out Mr. Rucker.
Peace to Mr. Rucker. Look, he want a prenup before he buys a movie ticket, so don't mind him. I need my camera. According to him, he needs his guarantees. That's his punctuation. But Vic, what you want to know? Because I know a little bit more about you, so I want you to be able to have your opportunity for discovery as well.
So I feel like I walked into a boardroom and like some important people talking, but I don't want to say nothing. So listen, for the audience out here that isn't familiar, me being one of them, with what the project is about, can you give a kind of a back of the book synopsis of what the story is about?
Mm-hmm. You wanna you got what? Something special? Yeah, I'm gonna hush up.
let me help you out, Vic. Get you a little bit, and then we'll let the homie expound. All right.
The first thing, one reader, in the industry, we have what's called a log line, which is kind of a one sentence summation of what they feel the story is about. So they, when part of their coverage, they will write a log line. So this is the log line from one reader. A young father must choose between the straight and narrow religious lifestyle of his family or the more exciting but dangerous street life of a drug dealer. So that's how this person, and in this case, I'll go ahead and tell you that we're referencing Caleb here, the main character. For me, it's very personal. There we have a lot of our young people, especially our young brothers, who find themselves in these situations where they are, pulled into the streets. I like this. So it's just going to be wide open for the interactivity as we go episode to episode as we unveil the story. Props to Chef for that creative editing all the way through. Props to Chef. You hooked that up.
You the creator. Look, you cooked the food. I just laid it out. I just plated it. So, and then, you know, Vic, based on that, y'all could talk about, you ask me questions.
Before I jump in too, I think I heard Melissa. Melissa, did you have something you wanted to jump? I think I heard her voice.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I was actually getting ready to chat it. I just wanted to thank you guys for inviting us tonight. And thank you, Chef, for putting this together using your platform. I have to jump off. We actually have another call that we got to get on. But was it anything else, Chef, that you wanted to ask me before I started blabbering on about the project?
No, you were perfectly fine. The thing is, tonight is more or less a promo event and celebration or a premiere of the actual project itself. So just you showing up, you know, you showing up, even you showing up for your son, that was beautiful enough to let folks know that this is a special project.
Very special.
Come on, man. If it's mama,
very special.
If it's mama approved, come on.
Mama approved.
Right
I'm
there,
just,
mama
hey,
approved.
Frank, I'm just glad you helping us mothers out.
Hey,
you know, it takes a village, and however many ways and different languages they can hear it, whether it's in a R&B song, rap song, and a graphic novel, like just, you know, put the word out there and just, you know, just plant the seed. So thankful, and we just can't wait, and we're so blessed to be a part of it. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good evening.
And in terms of planting seeds, thank you for sharing your seed with us. Oh, I got to say pause, right? If you were a dude, it would be pause. But we appreciate you, Mom.
No problem, guys. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. And listen, I do want to follow up on something right there that Melissa mentioned. It won't take me long. And that's this notion of using our talents to be able to create something that helps deposit in a positive way things into people, influence them. And so we kind of naturally do that, but it's taken away from us in so many different ways. You guys remember how hip hop started, man. We had when we started developing hip hop, there was a whole slew where we was headed with pure entertainment that was positive within hip hop and rap. And then powers that be kind of, you know, shifted and turned it into a different direction. They took over, and now it's used as a tool to destroy us, break us down. We got to get back on this other level with our artistry, with our work.
I agree. I totally agree.
So I appreciate you acknowledging that with this work.
No problem. Much love. Salute, guys.
Salute. Uh-oh, you muted, Chef.
Yeah, that's his best trick.
Because when I had the mic, I don't want y'all to hear me breathing through my nose, right? So I go hit mute and forget I hit mute. Then I get the flowing 3 bars into the verse. But yeah, Vic, so what questions do you have? Because I know, you know, you're the person now on the stage that may be the least aware. And I want folks in the chat as well. Please feel free to ask some questions. Vaughn, I don't know if you have access to your email. Please check your email. I sent the link in the email. Go ahead, Vaughn.
Okay, so in that preview there, it gave introduced some of the characters, and kind of what's going on with them at that point in the story. Now, it would appear that things are going whoever the star character's way. He got his girl, he got his baby, his boss on his side. You know what I mean? So I want to know where's the conflict?
So that's a great question. And what I'll say is the core of the conflict, and this is a nice way to kind of tease what's happening here, is it has to do a little bit, and there's a lot of little messages here. And then there's a couple huge messages, which I'm not even going to give away. But the the core of the conflict sort of has to do with this idea of, do you know right from wrong? Number one, do you know right from wrong? And if you do, either way, then do you actually, well, what do you do? What do you choose? Do you try to do right? Do you decide to do wrong? Do you take shortcuts? And so the core conflict has to do with our main character, whose name is Caleb. He's faced with the decision here. It's put right in his face. Circumstances in his life lead him to a situation where he has to choose how he wants to move forward. And your boy, he knows right from wrong, but in many ways he skates on thin ice. And so you see that's the source of the conflict. And through his story and his conflict, there are a lot of the themes that I want to cover are expressed across that. So that's what's happening with the conflict. That's the core conflict. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but that's the core one.
So he's riding the fence between good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, because this story, it when we look at the story of a butterfly, and we just look at it as a butterfly, we don't give that story enough of the sonic resonance it requires, because we're talking about it as a beautiful butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we fail to start the story at when they were a lowly worm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of let them know about can you please let them know about the history of the project itself and how it started?
I'm going to answer that in two ways. So number one, I'm glad you bring this up, because in terms of the narrative, in order to tell a story that has resonance, right, you got to be truthful with people. And this is a story that has it seeks to tell certain truths about what street life is about, right? And so you can't tell a story about street life without being honest about some of the things that happen out here on these streets. And some of these things are, it can be violent, ruthless on these streets. And so, there's parts and aspects of the story that I'll put it out there for people. And I'll probably talk about this the night of a little bit too, where some of the depictions of violence in it are explicit. They're straight on. We can't shy away from some of the stuff that happens in the streets. Like Melissa just got on here and talked about what happened with the young man who was killed at a party. When he was shot, the people had to see that, and that was, I'm sure, some very, very, and so there are some parts about the story that are just straight on, and then there are other parts that I'm intentionally making the story palatable for a broad number of people. So there is that, and so we see that, and in making sure that we don't turn our eyes away from that, we can access, and it can resonate with us where we go from there. You know what I'm saying? And it can be truthful so that people can really experience that. It can be truthful. And so any good story is going to do that. The stories that we don't buy are the ones that try to sugarcoat everything. Or like you said, start the story from the butterfly, and you never really understand what the issue was, what the caterpillar had to go through in order to one day become a butterfly. So there's that.
I said worm. Yeah, I meant caterpillar. Pardon me.
Yeah, all good. So there's that. But then kind of on a when you say history of the project. It simply is a matter of, like, the way that I write is it drops on me. Whatever the notion is, it happened this way for me with Love Trap, which went on to win 4 Black Feature Films festival, best feature film at 4 Black film festivals. It was picked up by Netflix. First Look Studios. It was on Showtime for a year and a half. This was a movie that was made for an extremely low budget. It's the way that I write.
Emmy award-winning filmmaker title. It's not like when they talk about, oh, I'm slick back. Oh, no, I'm a pimp named Slick Back, like Tribe Called Quest. No, he is actually an Emmy award-winning filmmaker.
Yeah, that's legit.
Y'all understand.
That's legit. That's legit.
So wait, you have work that's on Netflix now?
On Netflix now, no, but it was on Netflix before Netflix actually became Netflix. Right now, that one, what I'm talking about is Love Trap. Yeah, when Love Trap was released, it was on Netflix, streaming and DVD. First, it was DVD because back in the day, Netflix was a DVD rental company.
Right.
They pivoted to streaming, and then it was on streaming for a while. And if you just go to Netflix and look up Love Trap on the DVD, you should be able to still find their little placeholder for it.
Okay.
Let's see. So I was trying to characterize how the way that I write and the way I tell the stories, I develop whatever is being dropped on me with kind of the end in mind. And then I develop everything to get us to that end. And that's the way that I write. So when I move forward, I don't, a lot of people maybe get writer's block or whatever because they start at the beginning and they don't know where they're headed. For me, it's the other way around. Like I know exactly where I'm headed. And then my writing supports it. And I write in such a way where I do my best to make sure that you can't figure out where I'm headed when I start, because people watch movies to try to do that all the time. So that's what's up with that. That's when you talk about backstory and that kind of thing, that's what that's about.
Is the script based on a true story?
Thanks for asking that too. It's fictional.
If it was, he wouldn't tell you.
I would tell you because there's some aspects of Love Trap, for example, that are based in true story and in stuff that actually happened. But one of the coolest things about fiction, when done properly, is how you can use fiction to illuminate truth. All right, you can use fiction to characterize and create a narrative that expounds the truth. And that's what the best fiction really does. It makes it clean and makes it plain for people to be able to connect to. So thanks for asking that. This is a work of pure fiction. And it's so funny, after episode 1, there's going to be some scenes that people are going to talk about, and I can't wait to talk about them, because even though this is a work of fiction, there's some things that happen in it that I absolutely know some people who are like, the fictional character that I'm writing.
You know what y'all need to do? Just a suggestion. You know how The Walking Dead has like the after show where they talk about what happened in that episode? I think that would be dope as far as for your fan interaction, to watch the fan interaction build. How they would want the next episode to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. At least that part. I can't wait for the interaction right after. We want people to jump in and tell us what they think.
Sure.
I see we got OG Patrice and Vaughn the Great up in here.
Hello.
So,
how's everybody doing?
Wait, before y'all two legends say anything, I have to please allow this humble servant to roll out that red carpet before your feet. Right?
Oh, wow.
For the record, I want y'all to, you see this handsome looking gentleman with the more handsome looking gentleman with the backwards snapback. That's our brother, Juan Bryant. And for the record, this man married 20 plus years, and he knows how to show love and how to receive it, and he can give a lesson to you as well, right? And then next to him, that individual or that avatar that instantly made us all look ugly when she popped up, that is our beautiful sister, OG Patrice, aka Patrice Monsell. with
All
one
right.
L. And
There
if
you
you
go.
understand who that sister is, she is one of the progeny seeds, one of the newer generation that was birthed from the Midwest blues movement. Bobby Blue Bland, the rest of them, her uncle the Bootsy Collins, and the rest of them. And she's coming to kick it with us after doing a couple years of a residency in Las Vegas, and she was appearing for that time as the incomparable Etta James. So if you ever heard that song At Last, if you ever saw that movie Empire Records where Beyonce played Etta James,
Yeah.
you had this beautiful flower here who was the voice. All right. So I just want to make sure you guys give your
I'm
flowers
on it.
now and you show that deference and respect to the OG. All right, or it's
Wow.
gonna be a problem.
Thank you so
All
much. I
hair, all
appreciate
hair.
that
I think I need to update my
introduction.
resume.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. How you doing, gentlemen on the panel? And salute to the chat.
And salute
Okay,
to the
OJ.
chat.
Greetings,
And if
greetings.
wait, there was one more piece. And if y'all ever were feeling a little broke, dejected, bamboozled, okay, run amok, understand that sister right there. She's working to get you your bread. She is she is a pivotal member of the ADOS movement,
Yeah,
ADOS. Google it.
exactly.
And she is one of the sisters that is working to get us that 40 acres and a mule plus interest.
Get them
Come with it, G
reparations.
Patrice. I apologize if your intro was not good enough. I tried to bring all the enthusiasm up for
Oh,
it, sister.
look, that intro was off the hook, okay? It was
Okay.
awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys as well. So I'm gonna give you guys a moment. You and Vaughn figure it out. I know he's gonna give it to you first, but please let these folks know who you are, what makes you a special creature within this universe, and how did your energy delve into Frank's universe?
Okay, well, Patrice, I guess you're the lady, so I want you to go first.
Okay, thank you very much, Vaughn.
Try to be a gentleman, you
The
know.
world, thank you. The world of social media, right? And the plight of coming on to these YouTube streets about a year ago. I had the pleasure of meeting Frank, the Emmy winning filmmaker Frank Goodin, which I didn't know he was an Emmy winning filmmaker at the time because he was just so humble. He just had Frank Goodin on his name. And I would see him come up on the lead attorney's platform and have these very intellectual, stimulating conversations with the lead attorney.
He's very
And
humble.
yes, very humble he
He'll tell you
was.
he could be Jesus's little brother. He won't even tell you. He's like, "Hey, I'm just Frank," and like he won't tell you it's Frank Christ, right? I'm just Frank. Pardon me. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he would just so humbly come up there and give his opinion and views on things, and then it would, I don't know, somehow it came up. I don't know, maybe you could tell that story, Frank, when you have a moment of how it even came to knowledge that the conversation came up about him being a filmmaker. And as many times that I had seen him on the platform, and I think a couple times we were up on the platform at the same time, and just speaking in general, just speaking to people on the panel. And then we became this community, right? I watch us over a year just spawning from the lead's attorney platform is becoming this community. We would see each other on other platforms and we would speak and things of that nature. And then Frank got his own platform and I subscribed because he became a part of the lead attorney's Patreon, and it just kind of it spawned from there, like a community of things. But learning that he was a filmmaker, and not only Emmy-winning filmmaker, because he still didn't put it on his label for a while until people was like, "Look, what you are Emmy-winning? What? You better put that on there. You better stop being so humble." And so, like, no, that is, look, you deserve that, black man. So with that being said, and then Frank started when I came over to Frank's other platform, Frank Goodin. Then I started following him and Jen doing their objections and so forth, and coming onto the platform there, and just having a discussion and learning more about Frank and the history of him
Right.
being a professor, a filmmaker, and being from out there in Florida. And then he promoted the movie that he had produced and directed and so forth, and talked about the documentary. And he talked about you talked about something else. Oh, you actually talked about the project with Life or Death, and how it was you had intended for it to become like a doc, I think like a mini series or a docu series or
A movie.
something.
A
A
movie.
movie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just intrigued by that, and reaching out to him saying, hey, I've done musical stage plays and I'm interested. And he talked about Love Trap. So I went on and I watched Love Trap, and I was like, wow, he really does do great work, and I would love to work with him. So it went from there. We continue to talk and see each other in these YouTube streets. And I say, hey, I would love to work with you, and any opportunity, please let me know. I would be glad to work with you. So it just went from there, and it spawned from there, because I not only am I'm a fan, but I just love Frank's personality. I love his disposition, and I love how he stands so steadfast in his Christianity as a believer, and he's so humble, and I just love that about him. So those are things that drew me more to Mr. Frank Goodin.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
You're welcome.
Wow, that was a lot, but everything you said is the exact same way that I came in contact with Frank. I met him through TLA, and like Patrice said, there was a community that was built through that. So we all kind of followed each other, a little segment there, and we would end up on different platforms together, speaking and talking about different topics, and then the project had came up, and I had no idea that he was a filmmaker either until he had mentioned it, and so I too went and watched the movie Love Trap. And I said, wow, he really did a great job. So, listening to him on panels like with Jen and things like that. And then he came up with this project. And then I heard Patrice audition. And man, let me tell you, her audition was like out the box. So I was like, I wonder if I could do something like that. And so I auditioned myself, and I ended up, landing a part. So I'm excited about the project. I believe it's something that's going to be very positive. Something that we can all learn from, something that we can all gain from, something that's going to definitely have a spiritual meaning to it. And that's what impresses me the most about the project, because I really believe that there's going to be some gems in there that our young people, as well as some of our older people, can learn from. So I'm excited. And then when I heard Chef do his audition, I mean, that just took the cake. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, he is definitely made for that role. And it was effortless. I don't even think I just think he just actually just read it. And it was awesome. He knocked it out the box. So yeah, I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited. I just can't wait to see it unfold. I have no idea what I've gotten myself into, because this is my first experience even doing something like this. So I'm open to the process. I'm open to the process, and I believe that I'm going to gain a lot from it.
Let me jump in real quick on that one thing that you mentioned and about Chef. And I want to really expand it for really all three of you that are up here with me that are also in the project. And that's this like I am blessed because all three of you are so right for your roles. See, you guys don't know it yet, because and like the cast doesn't know the whole story. They're trusting me, guys. Like the cast hasn't read the whole script. They only have known. They only know what I've given them so far. The stuff that we did for auditions, callbacks, and the stuff that I've talked about as it relates to the characters. And when you talk about how Patrice so powerfully auditioned with her callbacks for her role, it, you know, like across the board, there are some things about each and every one of you that absolutely resonated with the actual roles, like you. And so, you know, you mentioned how Chef so powerfully auditioned with his callbacks. Each of you in your own way have a very, very unique and thorough understanding, even with limited information, about who these characters are. And I can't wait until you see the fullness, you know, of who these characters are, because you guys are going to be, you know, it's going to be a revelation for each and every one of you in the same way that it is for the audience. So I just want to kind of underscore that I just thank God that He's given me kind of these people with your voices and with your understanding of who you are right now. Give me the opportunity to actually cast you all, because it's across the board. I'm telling you, you all killing it. You guys killing it.
Wow, you know, that's
Yeah,
something
I
because
appreciate that.
yeah, that's something because you know, I remember when I got my call back, and I was excited about that, and so I did that, and I had no idea that you know, I would end up filling in the blanks at from time to time, you know,
Right.
because some people didn't show up or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just used that as an opportunity to try to really hone in on, you know, what it is that I needed to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of made me feel more comfortable in the role. So that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool too. You know, not to put any shade on the people that didn't show up, but
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah, for sure.
And
Absolutely.
also, just to add on to that, I'm glad that my auditioning inspired Vaughn to do it. That makes me feel
yeah,
good as an artist. You know what I mean? To just
wow,
know that my auditioning inspired him, because I guess it was an issue with people who wanted to go first, and I've been in this business for so long. I don't mind doing first. A lot of people be like, I don't want to go first because they feel the most pressure on them. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna set the tone. Then the rest of y'all got to follow behind me. So it really, the pressure is always on the people behind the first person.
Right.
If that first person get up
yeah,
there and kill it, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
just
you did,
knowing
you
that,
did it.
you know, that I inspired Bond to do it, it warms my heart, because he's such a talent already anyway, vocally. So just for
That's
him
right.
to bring his voice on another spectrum of this side, I think it's
Wow,
gonna take
yeah,
him down a really nice rabbit hole that he's really gonna enjoy, because I'm telling you, as a singer first that performed on stage, and then when I started doing the stage plays and the acting bug hit me, it never was the
yeah.
same. I absolutely love it, and I think you are going to find that too as well, Vaughn.
I believe so. It's probably kind of like fishing, you know. Once you catch that first fish, I know for me, you know, I was just hooked after that. I mean, I just love fishing after that. You know, didn't know anything about it till I caught my first one, and I'm like, woo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man, I'm excited, Frank, man, and I'm so proud of what you've put together so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know that I believe it's going to go viral. I believe it's going to be big, you know? And
Thank you. I certainly hope so. I'm just gonna let God, you know, wherever you want to take it, go ahead. You take it right there. I'm just gonna do everything we can to do our part, and I can't wait till Saturday night when people see it. I can't wait.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Like you guys, I've been telling everybody, Fear's family, like y'all don't even know. And the suspense behind this, and to be able to just make your voice come to life for the character. You know,
Yeah.
this is even my first experience with doing this. Is more like the voiceover thing, right? But you still have to
Mhm.
embody the character. You still
Yeah.
have to act it out. You know,
Right.
even though
Hmm.
these are characters that's graphic, right? You still have to bring out that character vocally. So you have to deliver. It's
Hmm.
about the delivery.
Exactly.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited
Absolutely.
with working with everybody. I know that Frank is gonna push us. He's gonna bring things out in us that probably we didn't know we had in us. And I love working with filmmakers and directors and producers like that because they push us to our limits. They say if Frank believes in us, guys, look, if he did not, he would not have chosen us. So just know that by even
Exactly.
choosing us, that's half the battle right there. Now all the other
Yeah.
half is we just got to
Yeah.
deliver and make them proud.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. I mean, and we're like what, 3 days away? What are we like? Friday, Saturday, right?
Yeah, I think
And
4 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 4 days. Yeah.
I know I'm not in the first scene, but I'm definitely gonna be there. Well, I'm gonna be there for every part of it. So even if I'm not, in a scene or whatever, I'm definitely gonna be. My eyes are gonna be wide open because I want to see how this whole story unfolds.
Mhm.
And
And
so that's.
you're in episode 2, so February, your week
I
coming.
know. Yeah, make sure you send me some paperwork, man, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you really gonna have to talk to me because
Get that
I'm a
prenup,
newbie.
Frank.
I'm a
Get the
newbie.
prenup, Frank.
Uh,
It's
Patrice
gonna be
already
fun. It's
Patrice,
gonna be an
Patrice already
exciting
said
ride.
that she would help me with my lines, so that's
Oh
good.
yeah, absolutely. If I will help anyone, I will go over lines with anybody that that want me to. I don't mind doing that as a team and people that you're working with.
Mhm.
That's I know that's any play I've ever been in. That's what we do. We rehearse, we go over our lines with each other. The thing about this is it's so unique is that this is the first time this is ever done and we are part of this. I love first times, something that has
Mhm.
never been done before, and it's
Mhm.
especially when it goes viral because this
Mhm.
this this
Yeah,
this opportunity here is going to set the tone, right, for
Yeah.
things to come, guys. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, all the
Mhm.
filmmakers are going to be looking into this now to like, wow, they did that, maybe I can do that. And
Yes.
but we are the
exactly.
first to set that tone, and just imagine that when this goes viral, what this can do for all of us.
That's right.
Wow, I'm impressed. I'm ready.
yeah, this is definitely a dope setup. I know for myself, I'll be honest with you, coming into the whole YouTube arena, it was a little weird because I was warned by people about YouTube personalities and this, that, and
Oh,
the other,
oh yeah.
But the thing is, in terms of my creator and what he does for me, he puts people in front of me that is always a reason, even if it's to cause pain. I have to understand that pain as a learning lesson. And if it causes euphoria, then I was blessed. I was anointed at that moment. And
Mhm.
I'll just say that, I had folks telling me all the time, oh man, you need to be in radio, man. Even my Caucasian, colleagues that, man, I could listen to you read a phone book, brother. Man, you need to
Exactly.
get on radio. I just never did anything. And in doing this YouTube, playing with this YouTube creature that it is, I was told not to trust people, not to,
Mhm.
be careful.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I look, and there's people that have been around and seen my YouTube history, you know, I've had way more wins than losses. I've been blessed enough to be able to meet different people that have shown me a different perspective. You know, I got to rock with two young brothers that make me feel good about the movement of the next generation. When I look at, just Vic, aka Victor Freed's music and 100 Watts,
100
you know,
watts. Exactly.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they make me feel good that the future of what we got going on is in the right hands. Vic, he's about 10 years younger than me. Watts almost 10 years younger than him. You get what I'm saying? So it feels like we're building something, but the both of that we're actually making moves to create greatness. And with Frank, I come from the music industry. I worked with Michael Jackson. I worked with Luther, Babyface, Sade, all these different people, So I've seen people come through with dreams and ideas. And, in the beginning, maybe because of my hubris, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is like when I'm, working heavy in that industry. I have a box in my office with 300 demo CDs. So for a moment, I thought that, oh, it's a demo CD. Then I read the email that I got from him again. And I was like, nah, this feels like truth. This feels like honesty. This feels like authenticity and somebody displaying their true feelings. And then I listened harder. And then talking on the phone is one thing, but then when you look at the guy's face and you see the conviction in his eyes, it's a whole different beast, So the only thing that I could say is thank you. It's thank you because, it created a dynamic. It created a plate. Remember, I'm a chef. It created a plate for me to lay that steak, lobster, and oxtails, and whatever you think is your favorite food. It made me lay it down real nice and sprinkle a little garnish on it because I knew what was coming from the kitchen was the realness. So I can only thank you.
Cooking. You was cooking.
It was cooking. He was cooking, man.
Can you smell what
in my apron?
Exactly, man.
Smells good, and it's gonna taste good. I'm excited about the project. I'm looking forward to working with everyone on this project. I see so much talent, in all of us. I see where the vision of how Frank put this together and how it's all gonna unfold. We're gonna take people on this ride, guys, right?
Yes.
Like life and death is we're going to literally take people on a ride of this life and death experience. And that's how I see it. Literally bringing all of me to this character. So so whoever I'm cross-lining with and interacting with in my scenes, I'm gonna do my best to bring out my character so that you can bring out your character. And if I'm cross-referencing with you, I want you to be the best character that you can be, as I be the best character I can be. And then I think, and as a team, we both can interact and bring it to life. Because this is the thing when you're working on a graphic novel, literally, your voice is what conveys in this, right? With the character, the action behind it, every ad lib, every whatever, every run, every sort of like singing, how you every ups and downs in your voice, your highs, your lows, all of that. Take all of that into consideration when you plan your character.
Yes.
Go into self and just kill it. I want y'all to kill it.
And it's gonna happen. Part of the reason why it will happen is because we're gonna have a lot of fun. Right now we're talking about something that's kind of very serious, life or death. And we're talking about a lot of the serious aspects, but people will find out. And I'm actually hearing in the background.
Yeah, we're hearing somebody.
Yeah.
I don't think it's me.
Yeah, someone's YouTube. But we're gonna have a lot of fun, guys. We're gonna have a lot of fun when we do it, and so that's part of why things are gonna go. So I look forward to that as well. We're just gonna have a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride. It's gonna be a fun ride, and to do it live, guys.
And to do it live,
it's like literally going to a concert and seeing them perform live with a lot of people watching. So yeah, it's gonna be dope.
So, talking about performing live, because the next segment was about us talking, that I had prepared was for us to talk about the greatness that we have related to this project. We smacked uh, Frank in the face with a bunch of roses just now. So we'll move on from Frank. Sister OG Patrice,
Oh,
aka
yeah.
Patrice Mansell. First of all, just so y'all know, I want to make just like when we in the church, not the church, but the church. All right. And you know, Pastor, and you know what he finna talk about the sermon. You go and you flip over to that part in the Bible, right? So let's talk about it. If you guys have access to Google, I want you to Google Patrice, Patrice, last name Mansell, Mocel, only one L. All right.
Moncel.
NCEL.
Yes, that's right. Moncel. That's correct. And take a look. She's a legend. Sister, take it away, please.
I don't know about the legend part, but I'm working on it. How about this? I have worked with some, but thank you so much for that lovely, lovely introduction again. My 20 plus some years of being in entertainment has definitely been for the love of the art, right? I've ever since I was a little girl, I've always been a lover of the arts, whether that was singing, dancing, acting, tap dancing, like whatever it was. I begged my parents to put me in it. And as soon as my dad heard me sing one note, when I was about 7 or 8 years old. He threw me in a choir, right? Because that's just how all of us got our start. So started singing gospel in the church. My dad was classically trained and was a gospel singer that toured all over the world, singing
Mm,
gospel with the likes of people like Johnny Taylor, Sam Cooke, all of Tyrone Davis is my cousin. He's my dad's first cousin. He's my second cousin. He's a famous blues singer out of Chicago. Had some good success back in the 70s and 80s and the 90s. And when I became of age, I got the opportunity to tour with him, and that's what led to my singing background for a lot of people in the blues industry. I would be on platforms singing background for him while working with people like Bobby Bland, Bobby Blues Bland, Millie Jackson, Denise LaSalle, Johnny Taylor. I actually almost became Johnny Taylor's daughter-in-law. I used to date one of his sons. But anywho, um, but yeah, just my and that those opportunities allowed me to tour pretty much in my late 20s, early 30s. And after that, then I came back home, got my own band. We did our thing all around Chicago, and then I had the dream to always perform in Vegas, right? So that was my dream, and I gave myself a 5-year plan after I got married, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see my name and face in lights in Vegas. That was my dream, and I was able to make that dream come to fruition. And out of the 14 years that I lived there, guys, let me tell you, the last 2.5 years of those 14 years, I was when I finally got into a big production. All of it, the rest of it was the hustle and the bustle of it, guys. Auditioning, getting turned down, getting minor roles here, then I had my own band in Vegas for a while, but I never stopped. I never stopped that dream. And I was on it steadfast. And the minute I got that one yes, that's all it took, guys. And that's all it always take. And I tell people young in this, don't give up. Don't ever give up on your dream if you got a drive to do something with your talent. To always do it, because no matter how many no's you get, and you are going to get a lot of disappointments. But when you get that one yes, that's all it's going to take, and you'll be on your way. So it has led to, me being uh to work with the Frank Goodins of the world. I'm also starring in a a play that's going to be in March in Las Vegas. It's called Main Street Park. That's another musical play that I'm also in, and that's March 5th in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm also doing that, and I got some other things on the table. Hopefully, if all the T's get crossed and I's get dotted with that, then what we just move forward. The sky's the limit. So I'm looking forward to whatever God has in store for me on this new journey now.
That's awesome.
Man, so this project is pretty special. It's pretty special. And how do you bring? I gotta ask Frank a question. Real talk, because I consider myself an unusual dude. I didn't say special, unusual. You know, how the hell were you able to pull together a cast that you did? Because it's not just me. It's not just OG Patrice. It's not just Vaughn Bryant. It's not just Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. It's not just Mike Vincent. It's not just Sincere. It's not just Derek Quick. It's not just, you get what I'm saying? Like, Pro. Just to explain to y'all, our first read was a freaking take. You know, when you talk about rappers, where they go in, one take. It was like, I think he just asked for a second take just to be greedy. Okay. He got the shrimps. He's like, yeah, where my damn scallops? Okay. Listen. When we talk about art and we talk about, museums and galleries and stuff, the people that put that stuff in there, that choose the art, you know what they're called? Starts with a C. Curators. Curators. So their job is not just to put people together. Their job is to put people together in order to elicit some sort of emotional / psychological response. And you did that. So I need to know some of the secrets, What you spice that soup up with, family?
So I can put two things on that. So first of all, I have to say that I do feel in my heart this whole project is God inspired. Now, we are all playing our parts. We're playing our roles, and we're doing the things that I feel like God has given us the talents to be able to do. But the way that we are meeting each other, and for me, like, this has happened. The reason why I can say that is because I've seen that this has happened for me before with Love Trap, where things were happening right when they needed to happen, and it kept happening, like little mini miracles throughout the whole film. And I was looking, wow, like, and that little things like that are what's happening here with Life or Death. So when I put the word out, and and in your case, reach out directly to you, Chef, because I heard something that heard you and was like, and paid attention, and like, whoa, I feel like this brother can key in on this character. And then a similar thing with many other characters. And like you mentioned, it's some of the lead characters. Julius Goldin is playing Roy. Raheem Wilson is playing Caleb. Saj DeWaite, extremely talented sister out of Queens, New York, playing Bianca, and on and so forth. I do feel like all of that is just God sending the right people for the right parts all the way across the board. Now, as far as how I do my part, and I shared this with Patrice a while back in one of our conversations. I am someone who responds to truth. It's just who I am. I respond to truth.
Yeah.
I see it, I recognize it, and God has given me an ability, a discernment
Mm-hmm.
when I see people, and I'm not special in that. A lot of people have discernment. I'm one of them, and I respond to truth. And so that particular ability helps me tremendously when I am looking for people to play characters in my productions, because I understand my characters, and I understand um, when I see people, if I can, what if they have the ability to express certain truths that each of the characters have. That's one of my abilities. So when you ask me, okay, how you put that little special sauce and all that, number one is God inspired. He gives he's there is never a time where God gives you the vision without giving you the provision. It doesn't happen. If it's from God and He gave you the vision, He's going to provide. And so it's God inspired. That's number one.
Amen. Amen.
Number two is this with me giving me the ability to say, hold on, I see it. You showed me something right there. I see it, and I respond to it. And in that way, this is how I can bring people who, aren't necessarily traditional thespians, people who are trained actors, and say, you are the person for this part. And I know you can do it even if you haven't done it before yet. So I think I can answer that question in a couple ways. Thank you for that question. That's a brilliant question.
All right. Thinking that actually was a great question. So I got two people that I'm bringing up. One of them is actually one of the members of the Nighthawks. There's Victor Freeze and there's myself. And then one of the young brothers that I brought up before, who is 100 Watts, aka Finesse Visions. And he's one of the vital members of what we got going on here. And, he's part of this thing here. So it's always good to have somebody who's not familiar with the project, because I just let them know that I was doing a role, but I kind of wanted to surprise the young homies as well. So I want to make sure that they ask whatever questions they ask, right? And then one of our content creation homies is popping in to say what's up, so I'm going to let him in here too. He's going to be one of the folks that's throwing a lot of traffic over to the project. My man, Mr. Best in the World. All right, Best in the World, say what's up. But 100 Watts, you do your thing first, please.
What's happening, what it is. I go by the name of 100 Watts, and I love those that love me. If y'all haven't already, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. After the video's over, drop a comment for the algorithm, man. We're trying to get these numbers up.
Thank you. And then we have, of course, Brooklyn's finest. West Coast snatched them up, but Brooklyn's finest. Talk to them, y'all.
Well, what's going on, family? It's Best in the World. Sorry for the echo if there is one. I'm kind of in the midst of, making food and talking at the same time, but I'm definitely here to add to the conversation. I am the network manager for Knowledge and Relationships, and I'm grateful that Chef let me on. Thank you, and I'm glad to be able to add to the conversation. Welcome, family.
Glad to hear.
Peace. I don't know if you're going to be able to add, because this is part of the actual, the production, but I definitely want you to make sure you ask some questions that you want to know about the project itself, if you got to do any intel on it.
Most definitely. As time goes, as y'all explain more of the lingo, I'll definitely ask questions. And I love the way that the brother was like, how it was definitely God inspired. You know what I mean? Because you got to have that. You definitely got to have that. It has to be inspired by something bigger than us. So, yeah.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, 100 Watts, do you have any familiarity with the project itself?
So I'm gonna be honest and tell you that I don't have as much information as I need to be informed. I've been listening to the conversation for like the last 10-15 minutes, just trying to catch up a little bit, but I'm definitely receiving some of the information that's been given so far.
So here's what I'm going to do. I may do it again throughout the broadcast, because of course this is the life or death live graphic novel experience premiere show. So what I'm going to do is, for those that popped in late, let me see something here. We're going to run it back for you, just so you get it. All right. So,
All right.
interesting project. Any questions, gentlemen?
Oh, who is it that put that together?
When you say, you mean put the project together?
No, that what we just watched.
Frank actually put that together.
Okay, because I saw it, I've seen it, I've watched it a couple of times, and the first question I had was who put it together. But no, yeah, like I said, I'm here to receive the information. Because it's you know how people say you don't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
You know, it's I'm really I definitely plan on watching this one for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's just in watching it, my brain, in terms of how I do my own productions and the ideas I have for all of my content, it's like watching it, like my brain is just running a million miles a minute, and I enjoy watching it. So it's like I said, just need to receive more.
Mhm.
So I have a question. Is everybody on this panel subscribed to the Life and Death
YouTube
channel?
channel. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, of course I am. So I'm
Yeah,
definitely.
That was why
Ready.
question.
Already.
Yeah, you
subscribed.
gotta do that and hit that notification bell, so every time we go live with the graphic novel, you guys will get the experience.
As a matter of fact, because remember what I had hit you earlier, Frank?
Yeah.
Can you send me the actual? Well, you know what? I'll pull it up. Don't even worry about it. I will pull it up. The link to the page.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull that up myself.
And actually, if you go to the page itself, I believe you should be able to see some of the auditions that took place, and
Everything.
Frank is talking about what it's about, and it's all kind of clips on everything to inform you about what the project is actually about. So,
Mhm.
yeah, if you go to that channel, you know you will be well informed.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I embrace because we're doing something that's so we have to remember this, and of course we know that here in the who are part of it, we're doing something that's so new that it's going to be something that is just going to take people just a little bit of a minute to really wrap their minds completely around, because
No,
it's so new.
Hey,
sure
Frank, you did it. You updated it. Oh, man.
I'm sure you had
the
already.
URL. Were you able to hear me, Frank?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying no. I just heard you updated the URL.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Perfect. Folks, please, I just posted it into the chat. Please click on that link and click subscribe, but then click the bell and click the top bell that says all, so that you will be notified half hour before the stream, as well as when the stream starts. Please.
Yeah, that bell is important.
That bell is
Now, see,
Absolutely.
if I was moderating, then I could be putting all that in the chat. But I can't walk and chew gum, so.
Okay.
Right, you good. You're good.
Meek holding the street down. All right.
Yeah, so we talking about the folks that are a part of this wonderful project. So I'm gonna go through some of the names. Playing the trainer is TC Urquhart. The messenger, Shamar Rice. Sexy girl is Tony Poe. Witness, Melissa Jane. 911 operator is Ashley Jackson. Frat Boy 1 is Speedy Valente. Frat Boy 2 is Chase Hartman. Grip is Michael Simons. Bianca's bestie is Shanoshia Jordan. Pastor is Uncle Stu from the block. Aaron is Sincere Brown. All right. Craig is played by Q Love. Horace is played by Dewan Anthony Patrick. Bartender is played by Derek Quick. Clarence is played by Vaughn Bryant.
Yes, sir.
Caroline is played by Courtline Lene. Bianca is played by Saja Waite. Ava is played by OG Patrice Monsell. Roy is played by Julius Bolden. Caleb is played by Raheem Wilson Morgan. And Bus is played by Guy Chef Chupino Ford. That's the cast. Well, we actually have another member of the cast that is not listed on there as well. And I forgot about that as well. Anybody ever heard of Coochie?
Well, yeah, heard it. I'm going to leave that alone because I might be stepping into something.
Hey, listen, man.
The name
I was
is
just wondering why y'all ain't bring Sexy Girl up on the panel as well.
Did you say the name was Coochie? Did you say the name is Coochie?
Yeah, I'm gonna introduce everybody to Coochie.
Okay.
What up, y'all? My name is
So
Coochie,
we do have a
and I'm one of the members of the cast of Life or Death, the live graphic novel experience directed by Emmy Award-winning filmmaker Frank B. Goodin II. Pardon me, y'all. You all might remember me from the viral meme called I Smack Your Mama. Sorry, y'all. I had some old tuna. In this revolutionary production, I play Caleb's cat named Julio. That's right. Julio.
God.
I just don't play just some old regular, simple old house cat. You know, I'm a cat with a... I'm a cat that lived a street life, you know. I got bagged up selling illegal catnip on the corner a couple years, you know. Stay tuned to the production, though, man. I think y'all gonna see a cinematic experience for yourselves. Peace out. Meow, meow, y'all.
Bruh.
Wow.
Where you get this ratchet ass cat from?
Some of everybody getting in the movie.
Everybody. Peace to Caleb's cat.
Oh, Lord.
Caleb's cat Julio, played by Coochie the feline.
Coochie. When you said Coochie, I'm like, Coochie?
Yeah, I was just waiting. I'm like, what is this?
It's a graphic novel, right? Coochie the cartoon cat. He trying to get himself in there. You know?
Yeah, I ain't want to leave my fingerprints on that gun.
That is hilarious right there. That's hilarious because when you said, "Do you know Coochie?" I didn't know how to answer that.
Big
Coochie or little Coochie?
I'm done.
But yeah, that was just a little more for some fun.
If it's okay if I do ask a question, I don't want to take it too far back. But would you mind explaining what a live graphic novel is?
You want me to? I can play that clip again if you want. I'm gonna play the other clip just so you get a taste. You get what I'm saying? This show is about.
And then I'll follow it up.
Definitely. Here you go.
Again, you got my brain running 100 miles a minute right now.
Here you go.
So the first thing, one reader in the industry, we have what's called a log line, which is kind of a one sentence summation of what they feel the story is about. So they, when part of their coverage, they will write a log line. So this is the log line from one reader. A young father must choose between the straight and narrow religious lifestyle of his family or the more exciting but dangerous street life of a drug dealer. So that's how this person, and in this case, I'll go ahead and tell you that we're referencing Caleb here. the main character. For me, it's very personal. There, we have a lot of our young people, especially our young brothers, who find themselves in these situations where they are, pulled into the streets. I like this. So it's just going to be wide open for the interactivity as we go episode to episode as we unveil the story. So that's a great clip that Chef put together that talks about the story, really hones in about the kind of story that we will be watching unfold in front of us. And to kind of follow that up with a kind of a direct answer to your question when you say a live graphic novel experience, just think of, and that's something that I kind of just termed. I'm not sure that that particular phrase has ever been used before.
So you're starting a new wave, is what you're saying?
That's really what I'm trying to do. Yes, because
new ocean.
Because
the wave is already on the way.
And because specifically what we're talking about is a stage play for the screen in a live fashion, where we have right now most of the people are just iconed up. I can turn mine off as well, and when you show up on Saturday, you're going to see our icons of actors who are coming together and offering their voice performances to something that we will all be able to see on screen and that's going to be the animated illustrations that I've put together for us. So you're going to watch the story of the animated illustrations play out right in front of you with our live actors who will be performing, throwing their talents right on all these characters in order to tell the story. So it's a graphic novel. It's just that it's going to be animated and it's going to feature live performances from our very talented cast and crew from all over the country.
Okay. I dig this.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up a little, OG.
Mm-hmm. Still breaking up.
Are you near a mirror?
No.
Yeah, you going full robot now.
Yeah, we need you back in the flesh, man. We need the robot folks to send you back.
You don't pop out and pop back in. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I'm really liking how he's trying to wrap his mind around what's happening right here, because when we do it, it's not only I don't know what I just heard. There we go. I think Patrice is back. When we do it, it's not only that, but it's this interactive part as well. So it's just a very, very unique thing that's about to happen, and we're just gonna see if people take to it.
And the reason, one thing for me is I've been in the process of putting a story together, but like the writing part has become very overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual writing part of it for myself personally. And I don't really know too many people that, have put scripts together or written books or anything of that sort. So you doing this is, for one, it's something that people haven't seen before. Right. Mm-hmm. And for myself, being a new a person who's brand new into a space anywhere in this sort of realm, I think it's amazing because now it provides an opportunity for a different opportunity, instead of the stereotypical TV script or movie script or something of that sort.
Brother, getting it. Go ahead, keep going.
No, so it's just It's amazing. Look, man, my brain, I can't slow down. Trying to figure
You
it out.
are getting it. You are getting. Listen, I'm telling you, this brother's getting me excited. If you want to keep talking, keep going. But I'm telling you, you're gonna get me going here in a minute with what you're doing, because this is part of why. This is part of why I'm doing it like this right now. So you can keep going if you want, or I can take it.
No, please take it, because like I said, I need to listen more than I'm
Look,
talking.
he wants you to keep popping. He's like, please, I'll take another color pop, please and thank you, sir.
Listen, I'm telling you,
It's a very interesting concept. I mean, it's a very interesting concept. I haven't seen anything like it on YouTube, and so it would be like a refreshing thing to see outside of what we've been seeing. So I'm definitely looking forward to the whole process and just seeing how it unfolds. You know, and especially live, that's got to be different.
Across the board. Part of the reason why I'm so excited about what I see Brother 100 Watts doing here is because exactly what you're saying right now. Traditionally, right now, up until maybe right now, up until when people see this, the way, if we wanted to be creators and we wanted to write a story that had some sort of visual performance component, we would write a script, and it would be just like what you just said. It would be something, but maybe a TV sitcom, maybe a YouTube show. We got to find actors to produce something and then throw it on YouTube with our actors. There's plenty of people right now, comedic content creators. It's not like, I'm the first person to come out and do something that's going to be creative on YouTube. Old girl with HBO did her, what is it? The series where awkward black girl.
Yeah,
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae with
Insecure, right. It started with like series of an awkward black girl, whatever it was, and then it went a whole bunch of places, ended up on HBO, but that was still a traditional formatted creative project, or movies, or if it's a stage play. But what this is, especially post pandemic, is it gives us a way to be able to create something, a story, and then without having to leave our own locations, reach out and say, hey, you have talent, let's all get together and create something that utilizes our voice talents. And then if we can then find the visuals to support that, at least in the way that I'm doing it right now you have a situation where the barrier to entry just got lower. It's another way for us to be able to tell the kinds of stories that are important to us, because the gatekeepers got filmmaking on lock. The big six, Hollywood, they got that on lock. That's the gatekeepers. So you want to make an independent feature film like I have done, still you got to get distribution, and if you want to get it out there, it's a whole nother. The gatekeepers got that.
And you got to send one of your kidneys to Tyler.
So Tyler's, and he broke through, but he's now big time himself, and he's got his own way to go on this. So bottom line is, for people who are just breaking through, we need as many ways to be able to tell our stories as possible, in creative and profound ways. And my hope is that doing this in this way is just another way where we got brothers like 100 Watts coming in and saying, I'm writing something, and look at what's unfolding in front of me. Maybe I can do something. Even if I don't do it exactly like Brother Goodin is doing it right now, he just hit me to another whole way here that I can get my story out. It could just be pure, back in the old days when we was just on radio, it used to be just straight voice plays on the radio in the 30s. They would listen to the radio and be entertained by, maybe go back to something old school like that with the traditional podcasts, which are out now. So it's just a bunch of different ways. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no. I was just bolstering your point. You gave him a paradigm shift.
And that's my hope. That's my hope. So we do what we do. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
No, I just wanted to give you your flowers, bro. Most definitely, man. Because just just watching it, seeing your feel, getting to feel a sense of what you're doing. It reminds me of two people, and these are two big people, by the way. Donald Goines reminds me of that. It definitely reminds me of Mr. Tyler, definitely. You know what I mean? And the Donald Goines is because Donald Goines is one of the most. I mean, he brought that hood element more than
Yes, he
just
did.
royalty. Anybody, you already know. And TP was a visionary. He still is a visionary. So you already know. So I feel like you kind of are blending both sides of the spectrum, bro, and that's big. And my question for you, bro, is because it seemed like you're from St. Louis, right? I'm just guessing, just by the hat.
Oh no, this is a Florida State hat. I'm from Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, this is Florida State, and that's where I got my MFA. So
Okay. My bad.
It's all good.
But so my question is like, where did you join your, what was your process like? What was your ups and downs? So I'm pretty sure you had ups and downs, and you just trying to figure out that you wanted to take this lane. Like, what was your ups and downs? What was the things you had to go through? Like, I had to go through a lot of traumatic stuff too to get to me being a content creator, solely, and just me kind of doing that and going through that venture and going through my own insecurities and battles and everything else. So what was your process, and how did you get to this point where you was like, this is what I really want to do, and this is what I feel like I'm destined to do?
Yeah, that's similar to a question that Chef asked earlier. So I'm going to answer it in a particular way. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way back to when basically I began when I first started, which is in the 90s. I saw Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. I believe probably in 1990, and what I saw was a brother who was able to, as you guys know, the way, or may know, the way movies hit back then was much different than the way they hit now. And Spike created an event with Do the Right Thing. Everybody was on TV talking about the controversy in the film. He was all on these morning shows and shows everywhere talking about it. And what I saw was a brother, a black man, set the stage for conversation about a number of things that were important to us as black people. And he set that conversation. He had everybody talking about it. And some people tried to take it left, because back then people were talking about, oh, well, once they see Do the Right Thing and they see the ending, are black people going to riot in the theaters? Are they going to tear up the theaters? That was an actual question back then. And so once I saw that it speaks to the power of filmmaking, of storytelling in this way, national, and international storytelling, the power of it, the ability to break stereotypes, to set a narrative that defines yourself and who you are as a people. So for me, that's why I decided to become a filmmaker. That's the bottom line. I saw he did it, and I was like, I can do it. Now, that path was one that, I went to film school. I earned an MFA in filmmaking from Florida State, which is a terminal degree. And that the most uncertain part of the path was after graduating. I could have chosen to go to LA or New York to try to do it that way, but I was fiercely independent. I decided to stay home in Jacksonville, Florida, where nobody is making movies in Jacksonville, Florida, hardly. And invested in myself, worked the job completely out of field, and bought my own equipment. I worked for 3 years to save up enough money to buy my own equipment and then go from there. And it's a whole lot of ups and downs, if you can say it, before I got to my first film, Love Trap. Once I got to Love Trap and all the challenges that independent filmmakers face with making an independent film, like it's a mini miracle, guys, to make a bad feature film. It's a mini miracle to make a feature film, and it sucks. It's a lot that you have to go through. So for me, I went through a whole lot to be able to make the film. And once you put it out there and you kind of create your baby, birth the baby, and you put it out into the world, you just wonder how people are gonna, react to it. And for me, once people reacted the way they reacted to my first independent feature film, which was Love Trap, made it for $6,000 in 2004. And the success I had with it, from there, it was, it was all things forward from there. All systems go. So
Yeah.
that's how I can talk about my ups and downs in terms of what it took for me to get to that point. Once I got to that point, then it's just a matter of the kind of path that you're on. There was still plenty of challenges for sure, but maybe that.
Thank you for answering that, bro. Thank you for answering my question, man. That was definitely cool. And that Do the Right Thing movie was life, man. Especially being from New York myself, being from Brooklyn. Like, man, that movie spoke so many volumes to me, to my childhood and everything, man. Like, I know the streets they on. Like, I know just everything. Like, it just really, and the message it was sending, the music, the message, everything. It really spoke to our essence as the people at that time. You know what I mean? From the Public Enemy, you know what I mean? Joint, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I mean? Like, that all just kind of spoke to where we was at as a people. You know what I mean? And where we wanted to go at that time.
And Spike was a man. He still is a man, but he was, Spike was
so whenever Spike would do movies in Brooklyn, right? His office was literally right across the street from Fort Greene Park, and on the corner across the street from a school called Brooklyn Technical High School. My sister actually had gone there, and she was, when they did the Not Do the Right Thing, but the first one, which was
first one was
She's Gotta Have It. Gotta have it.
Not She's Gotta Have It. The one after She's Gotta Have It.
School
Days. Thank you. And when they had Doing the Butt, remember EU, the group?
Hey,
they used the girls that were actually in there. My sister was in there. The girls that were actually in the video were the cheerleaders from that high school.
Wow.
But when Spike would do, his shop, his joint was like the spot where people would come and hang out and come through and just shoot the shit. And there was a couple of folks that I know that were actually in his movie. There was one of my boys named Inches. He went to Samuel J. Tilden High School with me. Inches was his nickname. At the beginning of Do the Right Thing, he's the kid that's riding the bike down the middle of the street, throwing the newspapers at the very beginning of the movie. And he was in another scene in the movie as well. But whenever Spike was working on a movie, it was one of those things that had Brooklyn lit because people would want to be there. The kids was there. People would come through, and he would show the community so much love because he actually lived in the hood.
Yeah, he did.
So it was always some sort of, it was something that would register with everybody. Oh, snap, he got something else coming up.
You lost your
mic, Chef.
Your audio a little bit off, Chef.
Uh-oh. How we sounding right now?
Yeah, you all right?
You all right?
Cool. Oh, peace to burner account. No, I wasn't rolling up. I'm actually was editing something that I'm about to drop on the show in a second. So I'm multitasking, but I see your eyes open.
I got a quick question for Frank. So I hear Spike mentioned a few times tonight, and when we think about Black directors, like what's my man who put out Boys in the Hood? He died recently.
John Singleton.
And I'm like, you remind me of somebody, but I'm like, it's not any of those people. Now, tell me how you feel about this, being compared to Robert Townsend.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
Right now,
how do you rank him in the history of Black directors?
So all Black directors that we know about, you know what I'm saying, generally speaking, they all have a place, a deserved place in kind of the overall, pantheon of what we have, because we have so few Black directors, directors who have the opportunity to make films. You're talking about like filmmaking now, the way that, where you actually have to have serious budgets and you're playing with the traditional studio system. Okay. So if you're a Black director and you get a chance to kind of break into that, then they all have a certain amount of talent. And I'm talking recent now, so when you say like a John Singleton or Spike or the Hoodlum Brothers or Townsend, who really kind of, I think Townsend really started doing this thing in the 80s, mid to late 80s. But then you go on further with some of these black directors
Gary
who,
Gray.
F. Gary Gray, you know, your youngest brother now who got a chance to direct Black Panther. They all have talent. It's really
Anton Fuqua. I
Anton.
actually
Yeah.
got to meet him.
Oh yeah,
in the night.
Fuqua,
Yeah,
Hughes
Anton
brothers.
Fuqua was doing
Hughes brothers.
videos in the 90s. He was the one that did Long Kiss Goodnight. He was the first black man that was given a big multi-million-dollar action
Hollywood movie. Yeah,
Gina
action movie.
Davis. Was Samuel Jackson in that too? He did everything.
Which one?
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah,
right?
that was
He was-
Samuel Jackson. That's one of my favorites. Long Kiss Goodnight with
Yep,
Gina Davis and
Antoine
Samuel Jackson.
Fuqua.
I
That
Is
love
that
that.
when she loses her memory, right? That's when she loses her memory, but she's really a killer.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that
Charlie
movie.
Baltimore.
Yeah,
She
she's bad
she
in that.
became a hip hop name. The rapper named herself after her. Yep.
Mhm.
Don't
So
mind.
when we talk about them, I hesitate to quote unquote like say rank them or whatever, because really anytime, most of the time, like 90% of the time, easy, you get a chance to play with the big boys, so to speak, the system, then you have the talent. You absolutely have had the talent to be able to do it. So this is just a matter of how you express your talent, the kinds of stories you like to tell and that you end up telling. I believe Townsend was the director of Five Heartbeats, right?
Yeah, I mean he's been
Yeah.
writing for a long time. He's got
He was
quite a few on
revolutionary
his
in
belt.
Hollywood Shuffle. He was the first one to
Yeah,
bring
that's the one I was talking about back in the
BS
80s.
to the front.
Exactly. You know, and that's an independent film who broke through because of sheer creativity. You know, almost like Friday was an independent effort that broke through sheer creativity and became a hood classic, a hood lit. So they all have the crazy talent. Now, for me, Spike Lee is very a special director, a very very special director who shows his brilliance in some very very creative and artistic ways. That has just enough of, generally speaking, just enough of a connection with the way the everyday person that it makes it accessible, because we know Spike is over the years have done some stuff that creatively is kind of way out there too, which is good, but creative, so he's I consider Spike Lee to be a genius. And then from there, there's a lot of black filmmakers who are extremely talented in the craft. But then we can go all the way back. One of the first black filmmakers was Oscar Micheaux in the 20s and 30s, who was absolutely groundbreaking with what he did, clearly had the talent, and helped usher in, took us from the silent film era to the talking film era. And people forget about Oscar Micheaux, and he was no joke. So
I didn't forget. I never knew. You say you don't know what you don't know.
Oh, that's true too. Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Look up Oscar Micheaux. My boy is no joke. No joke. 20s, 30s, 40s filmmaker. That was absolutely groundbreaking.
Yeah, I gotta just so you understand in terms of who Oscar Micheaux was. He was literally responsible. He was the Spike Lee of his time. Remember when Spike came out? Everybody's like, "Yo, man, why this nigga always screaming about some shit? Why he always making problems, man? We like white movies too. Damn, what? So what? We like Tom Hanks." And then he exposed us to stuff that we didn't see. He exposed us to things we didn't see. He exposed us literally. Now I'm about to take you extra rabbit holy. What if I said, okay, I'm getting, I bet, best in the world. Okay. What if I told you that one of the first two Neos in the Matrix were Spike Lee and Robert Townsend, and three, Oscar Micheaux. I'm gonna give Oscar Micheaux in there because he's the OG. What they did was see the tapestry and the wool that was put over our eyes and giving us the impression of warmth and entertainment. And what he did was poked holes into it so that you can actually see what was being forced and thrust upon you as well as being hidden from you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say Neo and the Matrix, because they were the ones that revealed the rabbit hole, they revealed where the hustle was.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the movies and you actually start to see, and it's like, damn, sometimes you look at Ashton the show, he was the one that was pretty much the reason for the thwarting of Birth of a Nation. He was the one that came out after that nasty movie. And I'm not talking about the new modern version one. I'm talking about the original one that was done by D.W. Griffiths. All right. I took film class, and that movie was the movie, literally. You know how they say, oh, the soundtrack to my life. That movie was the soundtrack to Jim Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, I didn't got the mic on. I was getting dramatic. That movie was the soundtrack to Jim Crow.
Mm-hmm.
It had the KKK folks. It had the Sambos. It had everything. And that was actually one of the first full-length ever. The first full-length cinematic movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about us and them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just throw that out there and let y'all
For sure.
know.
For sure. So that's just a really good question that Just Bit was asking about, just in general. We, generally speaking, I tend to shy away from the ranking and more towards just a pure appreciation for any Black filmmaker that breaks through and can get their stuff in. And we're talking filmmaking at this point. With what we're doing on Saturday, it's storytelling, absolutely. And it's visual storytelling, absolutely. But it's just doing it in a different way. Like we said, like Brother Chef said, kind of schema shifting. And I'm hoping to do it in such a way, bring a certain amount of excellence to it, so that people, when they see it, they go like, oh, that's what you're doing? This is interesting right here. And if people respond to it, then we get more and more people going down this path.
Definitely.
For sure. Thanks for that answer.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. It's a graphic novel, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's a graphic novel. So let's talk about what made you think about.
I'm finna give everybody the exclusive since it's your show, and since you brought about it, since you I'm about to give you a nice little exclusive. So
well, we got the Life or Death Red Bottoms. I'm a size 12.
I'm gonna let us sit on this for a minute. So the character that Chef is playing, we know is Bus, and this is book 5. This is Bus. Right here. And
I shaved my beard off.
And this since you just brought up the fact that this is a graphic novel, it is actually a graphic novel. In other words, it's a 5-part series that was written in the graphic novel format. And I could open this up and reveal some things, but I'm not gonna, because I don't want to spoil this story for the live graphic novel experience that we're creating right now. But I just wanted to kind of support what you was just saying when you mentioned about graphic novel. And since we got the guy that's going to embody Bus, I wanted to go ahead and show everybody that Bus is no joke right here. And Chef is going to he's going to murder this character, guys.
That's your version of Kingpin type character.
Actually, I can see how you can think about Kingpin when you see that. He has nothing to do with
wait.
Kingpin.
You talking about Kingpin, the NBC series? Or you talking about Kingpin, the one with the one-armed bowler?
I think he's talking about Kingpin, the comic character from DC
Spider-Man.
Universe.
Oh, Kingpin.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could hop in, I just want to ask one question because I do gotta. I'm unfortunately I gotta hop out. But I do have one question. Hopefully you can help me out with something real quick, Frank. If you wouldn't mind being able to speak on like some of the difficulties in terms of writing, completing, whether it be writing a book or a script or whatever that be, could you speak to some of the difficulties of that and like making it through that?
Thank you for that question. Before you go, thank you, because that gives me a little bit of chance to kind of hopefully try to continue to encourage you and motivate you to keep going, because you did mention how you're at a point right now where you're kind of writing something and it's, you're finding it challenging. Number one, so first of all, writing is it's arduous. It's something that not a lot of people take the time to do and execute from beginning to end. Writing a story is not a simple thing. Everybody in the world when people find out I'm a filmmaker, I got an idea for a movie. I hear it all the time. You can make this movie like this. It's one thing to have an idea for a movie. It's another thing to turn that into, let's say if it's a full feature film, an hour and 30-minute narrative that will hold people's attention and make it worth people's time. Completely different things. So I understand what you mean when you say that it's a challenging thing. Here's the way I would approach it. Number one, stay encouraged. Why? Because you have a point of view as an African American, among other things, just who you are. We all have our own unique points of view, period. And we all have our stories that if it's in you to tell it, then absolutely it's worthy of being told and getting it out. So number one, stay encouraged to actually get it out. Now, the advice I have for people, and by the way, once I do all of this, once I get on the other side of life or death and some other things, then I'm going to continue. This is what I want to do. I want to show people, hey, this is how you do what I just did. And I want to give it all away. So I'm going to be open, putting it all on YouTube, giving it all away, and moving forward to continue to inspire people to do this, because we're entering into a world right now where our stories are increasing in value, like who we are as African Americans and our experience and our point of view. It's been overlooked, and we're now entering into a space where the opportunities for us to be able to express these points of view is just opening up. So we got to get them out. So the thing I would say for you is right now, don't worry about structure at all. There is a structure and a craft to writing in addition to the skill, but don't worry about structure. First, get the story out. Get it all out, whatever it is, wherever it goes, get it all out, and then worry about structure later. I teach a class called narrative production, and that's the first thing I teach my students, is to get it all out, like you just brainstorming it all out, and then later you can shape it. I do have a book that I recommend to aspiring writers. It's a book called Story by Robert McKee. If you want to tell a story and you're an aspiring writer, this is a classic, and it's a very, very extremely insightful book into the art of storytelling in terms of writing. So just look it up, Story by Robert McKee, pick it up, and after you get your whole story out, then you can learn how to shape it, how to craft it. So just imagine getting the story out the way you have it as a lump of clay, and then applying the skill and the craft to shaping it into what an actual narrative is that connects with people, and that stays with people. I shot Love Trap. I wrote Love Trap in 2004, shot it in 2003, 2004, shot in 2004, had its first premiere in 2005. Go to YouTube right now and look up Love Trap, Frank Goodin. People watched it yesterday, and then go read the comments. And you'll see how something that I created 20 years ago, almost 20, right? 2005. No, 17 years, whatever it is, how it connects to this generation, 15, 16, 17 years later. There's a craft to that. You have to learn how to do that. But once you learn it, then, you can do what, like Warner Brothers in DC, then they create Spider-Man or Superman, an intellectual property that was created in the 30s and 40s. And every generation, every 10 years, they make new movies of it, sequel, and they're eating off something that was created intellectually 20, 30 in the 20s and 30s. This is 80 years ago. And they're making billions off of it. every 10 years, a new generation grow up to watch a new set of Spider-Man movies or Batman movies or Superman movies. Is creating intellectual property that has value. And we're entering into a world where the metaverse is coming and people are going to start living through digital experiences. This is the best time to start writing. So anyway, I can just keep going, guys. I'll leave it there.
No, I appreciate I do appreciate that. I did subscribe to your page, so I'll definitely be looking for any content that you have coming forward, and hopefully I can run to you again, and maybe I can pick your brain a little bit more.
I'll be glad to it. Thank you, brother.
Chef and Vic, I'm gonna hit you guys in the backlog very soon. OG Patrice, always good to see you. Yeah, have a good night. All right.
All right. See you later, 100 Watts.
Peace, Watts.
Hey, before y'all go on, Frank, I wanted to ask you something. I don't even know if it's a question. I want to acknowledge something which you said just a minute ago. And a lot of times, one of the biggest things that I've discovered about starting a venture is having an exit strategy, and knowing, like you say, your end goal, and the way you say you even develop your ideas is having the end goal in mind first and building around that backwards. So when you said that your ultimate goal, or at least one of your goals, was to, once you're beyond this, you were already thinking beyond this, and that you were just gonna leave the door wide open. And are you familiar with the movie V for Vendetta?
Yes.
That's like number one on my list. And I'm partially biased, when I expect but there were, at the very beginning, he says something about Guy Fawkes, and he says, "You can delete a man, but you can't delete an idea." And the way you were speaking earlier about, gatekeepers and things of that nature that, you may not even want to get into, but for you to just open another door, another window, and leave it open, that's pioneer business, brother. And having that in mind, the presence of mind to have that in mind before even beginning that tells your heart, your intent. That's the God spilling out. You know what I mean? You can't even contain it. That's why, like, what you saying, you're being genuine. These words ain't measured. That's just who you are. But it's very telling about the man that you are. So if anybody, I'll tell you, like Miss Joanna, anyone in the sound of my voice, this brother's verified. Okay, the Father has spoken for him. If you want to support something real, I think this is gonna be a new beginning, like you said, about this metaverse, and where, wherever this world is leading for the time being, we on the boat. We gotta ride it regardless. Might as well ride in style.
If you understand this brother's life and this brother's plight and my life and my plight, right? Now, when I say this, I want you to kind of understand it, brother. Your approach, first off, you have poise. It's not a negative thing. You have poise, relaxation, a certain level of stoicism in terms of your level of communication. When we were doing the scenes, you said the exact words in your docile way to say it. You're not the wild, crazy one. Come on, yo, we gonna do this, yo. Whatever. You're not that homie, right?
Right.
Here's the craziest thing. A lot of the homies that's super gangster and this, that, and the other, they don't have the testicular fortitude. And I don't know about his testicles, y'all. I'm just being dramatic with my verbiage, okay? Brother Farrakhan used it, and I'm going to use it today. Thank you. You had the testicular fortitude to be able to step out on the ledge Remember, gangsters, they may like a song, they may know the dance, but they won't want to dance in front of people because it may change their gangster. You stepped out into a wilderness because this has not been done before. Played the video with the log lines where they taught, where the other people that were creators were like, whoa, yeah, I see what dude is trying to do. Whoa, he got literally. I gave you guys a little snippet, the cartoon video, but literally you were reading people who do this and who might have done this at a high level. It was like, yeah, I see what he's doing, but wow, this guy got some balls on him to even try this thing here. So there's balls, testicular, I get it now, right? Some people don't understand. Gangster is not just.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Gangster
that this is going to set the tone, Chef. You know, it really truly is.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just had to piggyback off of it. It's absolutely, you're absolutely right, because I'm telling you, this is going to set the tone. We already are in a virtual world that's everything's digital, almost like Frank spoke of the metaverse and what's to come. This is like, imagine if this was in the metaverse, somebody actually putting those the eyewear on and going into the metaverse and watching this live and in living color in that form. Just imagine that. So we're so close to that, and to put this in these YouTube streets is absolutely phenomenal, and it's a great idea. I am telling you all, this is setting the tone for everything else that's going to come on YouTube with filmmakers that's going to have this same idea to bring characters to life via graphic novel. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
This is going to be something special. So what I want to do is this. We talked about the folks. We talked about the characters, right? But remember, human beings, sometimes we tend to just go into the fridge, sleep in the house, go lay down in the bed. But we never give the props to the folks that laid those bricks, that built that house. So we smacked Frank Goodin in the face with his flowers early in the mix, and smacked them flowers on his chest too. But remember,
in the face.
Right? This is a graphic novel, right? Now watch this. Frank is creative and all of that. I see what he does, his brainwaves and all of that. I don't know if he could draw that well, right? So in order for this thing to be real, we got to talk about the person that's holding the camera. But here, there ain't nobody holding the camera. It's somebody holding the pen, right? And we want to talk about our flower, okay? Our flower, Yumin Park. Who's Yumin Park? We finna show you who Yumin Park is. That's our flower. She's one of the reasons that we here. Let's go. Yumin Park is a graphic designer based in Brooklyn, New York, who values design that sparks conversation about issues around the world. Yumin, born in Korea, living in South Africa for a decade, with passionate loves being illustration, character design, animation, comics. She thinks deeply and challenges herself to create solid illustrations with a strong message. She was a major fan of Japanese animation and manga style, way more than Disney classics in her youth. She realized her views on social issues happening in the world wouldn't resonate with art patrons using the Japanese cute and pretty styles. That opened her eyes up to American comics. What she evolved into is a highly skilled illustrator with the heart of the character and storyline to define her creations. She even created a comic universe franchise called 4 O'Clock Voyage and their origin characters Valerie and Gilliard. And she belongs to us on this project. Life or death. She is one of ours. Peace to you, men. Respect the creation.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what's
Back
up.
the
That was beautiful.
creation. Please, Brother Frank, you the star of the show. Please, how did you? I mean, you found us. You found all of these people, bro. How did you curate her? Because for the record, I wanted to keep that thing short. There was a live art gallery exhibits that she had done, which is dope. There's literally a concept that she has that is making me think about a show based on one of her art exhibits, and I'll leave it at that. You know, yeah, bro, how the hell did you find her? I mean, you know, I'm sure you're well traveled, but when your ass went to Pretoria, South Africa, and Korea, when you put me on. So you've been to Brooklyn, put me on. I don't understand.
Another God-inspired connection. Let me tell you, Human Park. So I first met her before this is one of those things, where you meet people and you don't know, what the kinds of things they're gonna do. But what you do know and what you respond to is what you have right in front of you. And I told you before, I respond to truth. And it's clear her talent. This was before she did any of this stuff. Her talent was clear. And we met online. Just like just like I met you online, Chef and Patrice and everybody here. We met online, and let me tell you, she is also a Christian, and I thank God for meeting her on that level, the Christian level, because that's really how we connected. She was in South Korea when we met.
I gotta pause you for a minute.
Okay.
A special shout out to my grandfather, Saint Armand Gabriel. My grandfather spent a lot of time in Asia and in Korea in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and he was part of the missionaries that were bringing Christianity over to Korea. And some people that consider themselves as brothers, and their Korean children consider him their uncle and godfather. You know what I'm saying? Was a part of that movement. And some folks don't understand the level of what Christianity has brought in terms of Korea. So when you said that, and she's a Korean Christian, there was a major wave in the 40s, 50s, 60s to move, to bring a missionary and an evangelical work over to Korea. So just when you said that, for me, I just took a moment of pride from that. Pardon me, Kenny. I apologize.
Awesome. That's awesome. You never know. It's interesting. You have to follow that path because her whole family are strong Christians. And you just, that's interesting. There may be some, there's always 6 degrees of separation. You just know, you just don't know. So when we met, we connected in that way. And the reason why it's such a blessing for me is because when we talk about Christianity, all we can talk about is what we know and see right here in the United States. And we, of course, having not been exposed to what other Christians are, have to go through and what their experiences are all over the world, if we don't have those experiences, then we don't connect to them and we just don't know. And talk about somebody that is connected to God and the stuff that they do purely from here. I've done a little bit of studying of Christianity as it relates here to what we kind of experience in the States. And you guys might want to look this up at some point if you've never heard of it, but I kind of characterize what the kind of Christianity that we have here as Laodicean Christians. Laodicean, which is one of the churches that Paul wrote a letter to. And we can get into all of that other stuff, but we are exhibiting.
Can you type that name in the back chat? Laodicean?
Yeah, Laodicean. Laodician. Laodicean. And we are like, I consider us a version of the Laodicean church. And I'll put it in the back chat. I think that's what's going on here in the States, and it's not like that everywhere. And I'm gonna type it right now. I think that's how you spell it. It's really, really close. If I'm, I might be off by a letter.
Remember, you got chef in here. This is what I do, bro.
Yeah, okay, we go to school over here.
This is what I do. Look, and I have my hands on my face, and you'll just see it pop up. You know what I mean?
So when we get a chance, do a little study on that because that's what we're used to. It's another way of saying some lukewarm Christians. Some lukewarm, and again, that might be another show for you at some point. But
oh, you thought this was about you? Nah, we just using you as our brainstorming session. You just gave us like 8 new episodes. Please and thank you.
Amen.
Shirley.
And Human Park is not. And so we connected in some very interesting ways. And this is another reason why I know this whole thing is God inspired, because the talent that she brings, and wait till you see, just wait till you see the visuals and the way that that the story is expressed. I might be the person, the writer and the creator of the story, but she brought her talent to this, and she's enabling me to be able to tell the story in this particular way. And it was just another step. Human Park and I worked for a little over a year and a half, creating the screenplay to those 5 books in a graphic novel. And so I'm so glad, Chef, that you decided and thought to kind of just point what we're doing and shine this little spotlight and this, flow of information that we're having right now about this whole effort her way, and making us stop and say, hey, these illustrations, like people say, are dope. And this is the person who did that. And we were like this. Talk about being in somebody's head. She was in my head. Once we got it going, we had such an amazing flow all the way across the board. So point being is that absolutely, this is what I'm talking about when I say just this ability to bring what you do and then synergize with what the talent that other people have to create something that's bigger than all of you. And for me, when you do that for a purpose, so I'm just gonna keep being obedient. We're just gonna see where this goes. I think you're on mute.
Seek ye first the kingdom. That's what we do over here.
That's what I do. Look, I be so conscious of not wanting to breathe heavy into the mic, so I go on mute and forget I went on mute. And then next thing you know, I start flowing. I spit a hot 16, and you hear nothing. But one of the things I wanted to do, like I said, is open up our doors to the crib. And we have certain folks, certain regulars. You saw Mr. Best in the World come through. You get what I'm saying? He's a great YouTube content creator. And then we got a special brother that popped in too. I never met this guy in person ever. You know what I'm saying? But there's a certain energy about him that tends to resonate with me. I feel as though there's something that the man upstairs wants me and him to do, wants him to do for me, or wants me to do for him. Even if he's not as Christian or whatever, right? He just happens to be one of those souls that for some weird reason we resonate. And he's a brother that is originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, by way of Minnesota, currently one of the smoothest dudes in Houston, and his name is Big Hef. This dude got almost 200-300 views on TikTok alone. Good dude. What it do?
What's the word?
Oh yeah, he's also gonna be the dude that walks in the room and make you feel underdressed. He's the guy that will make you feel underdressed at breakfast.
Man, I ain't did.
Okay.
Hello. I see him and Mr. O together. Look, I love it. I haven't seen men dressed that sharp and debonair in a long time. And every time I see these two young men, they are on point. So salute to you both.
My guys,
I appreciate it, Miss Patrice. Thank you so much. Gratitude.
Oh, you more than welcome. I'm telling you, like a breath of fresh air. You and a Miss O. I just don't see a lot of young men dressing like that as much anymore. So, man, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
So Patrice, wait. No, we ain't finished with your flowers. Hold on, we ain't finished with your flowers yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we aggressive with the flowers. We smack you in the face with the bouquets here. So, OG Patrice.
Yes.
There's something that I noticed about them two young brothers, right? I call them young brothers because I'm 49. I'm gonna be 50 in August 2022. So when I hear, especially with the way he articulates himself, I even told him one of the first couple times I met him, I was like, yo, bro, whenever you finish playing with life, the man upstairs, he got something special for you. He has a certain level of decorum, a certain level of delivery, a certain understanding, and a certain way with words. All I know is that my creator speaks with a mighty wind or a gentle whisper. And who knows, in another 10, 12 years, he may be Pastor Hef, and he may lead people to salvation. We already know he got the tools. All he needs is the direction and our creator to point his needle in the right direction. So I'm talking God shit. Till you have I rock with you like that. You get what I'm saying? All right. So if you see me rocking with you, it's real. All right. So yeah, man. You know anything about the project at all?
When you say project, you mean the title of tonight's show?
Okay. So you see, I don't get mad when people pop in and don't know what the topic is about, because I just
finished my show with
No, you good, and I know. I'm giving you props. They pop in and don't know, because what that means is like, yo, it don't matter. I'm coming to show love.
Man,
he could have been talking about, it could have been an episode about men who like to make love to monkeys. You know what I mean? I don't matter.
I'm coming to holler at my people.
I'm coming to show chef love. So let me just let you know real quick. There's a project that this gentleman named Frank Goodin in the middle put together. Frank Goodin, he's actually an Emmy award-winning producer. All right, he won the Emmy. You know, the lady with the wings and she holding the globe. Right. That to me is actually the sexiest. Better than the
By the way, where is it? Show it.
Oh, make it real. Make it real.
Okay?
Yeah.
What that is
no cap.
The golden fairy holding the big testicle. That means that you got nuts for this thing here. I'm sorry, Flower. Please pardon me.
Let me get serious. Let me put on my...
But so pretty much what I'm gonna do is just give you a little quick teaser. Frank is a director. He won an Emmy, and he took one of the movie ideas that he had that he was waiting to produce into a film, and the man upstairs talked to him, and he ended up saying, yo, we're gonna do a live graphic novel. And what he did was turn it into a graphic novel with a great illustrator named Yuman Park, right?
Okay.
I just showed some of his info. And what he ended up doing was creating something that myself, OG Patrice, Uncle Stu on the Block, Vaughn Bryant, Sincere, a lot of people are actually
over 20
people on the project, right? Mm-hmm. But on this project itself, what we're doing is it's more or less voiceovers. So I'm gonna give you a quick little teaser since you're new, and also for the people that just joined that might have left your show. Yeah, man. So it's a real project. And we actually just went through going through some of the information on the person that was the illustrator of the project. All right, her name is Yumin Park. And if you, when the thing is done, you can rewind back and take a look at the little presentation that we did for her. But the project is actually going to air and premiere on Saturday at 8:00. And it's going to be episodes. So you know how folks go and watch Power, they watch this week, and then they wait till next week. It's going to be, you know, the next episode each subsequent week. Here's the thing, though. It's live, and it's going to be illustrated, and the people participating, we're actually going to be doing the voiceovers live. So think about it like a live stage play, fam.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this other thing one more play because she deserves it, man. This is the person that illustrated. Give me 1 second. Yumin Park is a graphic designer based in Brooklyn, New York, who values design that sparks conversation about issues around the world. Yumin, born in Korea, living in South Africa for a decade, with passionate loves being illustration, character design, animation, comics. She thinks deeply and challenges herself to create solid illustrations with a strong message. She was a major fan of Japanese animation and manga style, way more than Disney classics in her youth. She realized her views on social issues happening in the world wouldn't resonate with art patrons using the Japanese cute and pretty styles. That opened her eyes up to American comics. What she evolved into is a highly skilled illustrator with the heart of the character and storyline to define her creations. She even created a comic universe franchise called 4 O'Clock Voyage and their origin characters Valerie and Gilliard. And she belongs to us on this project. Life or death. She is one of ours. Peace to you, man. Respect the creation. So this is not no, you know, the homegirl who, you know, who went to SCAD. If you ever lived in Atlanta, you know, this is somebody that actually.
Don't be talking down on SCAD.
First of all, yeah. SCAD, okay, I gotta say, I forgot we got a SCAD alum here. So SCAD, that's the Southern College of Art. Savannah College, excuse me, thank you. That's it. Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD. You know what I'm saying? We got a SCAD alum up there, so pardon me. But when I say it like that, it's not just we got somebody that happens to be in school trying to do design. If we was in New York, I would have said FIT, right? But she's, you know, a highly sought after but artist. She puts on real live, you know, sculpture exhibits, not just cartoon stuff. You feel me?
Dope.
Yeah, man. But hey, we got everybody here in the mix, right?
I mean, you see, I'm in the anime. I got my joint up. You know, bro. Yeah, like so. I'm tuned in. I'm excited to see more for sure.
Oh, we done gave everybody their flowers. Don't say anything. If y'all get a chance, if you're ever on TikTok, because Hef is new to the YouTube streets. What's your video? That video you got on TikTok with the most views? How many is it?
It said 570,000 last time I looked.
All right.
Right. And then look, that was just one video. He got videos with 100,000 and all of that. He's new to the YouTube streets.
Yeah, but, my latest joint is trying to track him down. He's at like 440,000 last time I looked.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get to that milli. I'm trying to hit that milli.
So watch the segue. Hef is also a recording artist. Vic and 100 Watts and myself, we're all musically inclined, either previously recording artists or still working on stuff. I still write, you know, ghost write and stuff like that. Hef is also an artist, so he's big into the music. So that's a perfect segue, my man Hef, because we were introducing different pivotal factors in this production. We talked about the director first. We talked about the different people that were going to be characters in this production. Right? We talked about the person that illustrates. But remember, you got to have music in this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to, every movie has a score. Every movie has some sounds, something. So who the hell creates the sounds for this thing that we got going here?
Right.
It's a brother, smooth brother, named Frank Cleveland III. And I'm going to let y'all know about him. Our musical in-house genius, Frank C. Cleveland III, a native of Columbus, Ohio, is a multi-talented music producer and engineer. Somebody echoing. That's half. I'm going to mute you and Frank. Our musical in-house genius, Frank C. Cleveland III, a native of Columbus, Ohio, is a multi-talented music producer and engineer. For 3 decades, this keyboardist, producer, composer, arranger, engineer, and clinician has traveled throughout the United States and Europe, playing his melodic sounds, rhythmic vibes, and has produced recordings leaving his listeners wanting for more. He is a crowd pleaser, giving his audience a wonderful experience. Frank has composed and produced the original music score and the soundtrack for the Emmy Award-winning movie Love Trap and the original score for the independent film Miracle 7. Frank is currently the chief executive producer and owner of Dunamis Productions, studios in Jacksonville, Florida. And he's one of ours. The background music currently playing is one of Frank Cleveland III's. It's called
and again for your love.
Enjoy. Sorry, Frank. Apparently there was a double up in the Canva setup. I do apologize, but I do hope you guys were able to hear what it was that I stated. And if you weren't able to hear exactly what it was that I stated, I think it's important that you hear it. Frank C. Cleveland III is a native of Columbus, Ohio, and is a multi-talented music producer and engineer for 3 decades. This keyboardist, producer, composer, arranger, engineer, and clinician has traveled throughout the United States and Europe, playing his melodic sounds, rhythmic vibes, and has produced recordings, leaving his listeners wanting for more. He's a crowd pleaser, giving his audience a wonderful experience. Frank has composed and produced the original musical score and soundtrack for the Emmy Award-winning movie Love Trap, directed by Emmy Award-winning filmmaker Frank Goodin, as well as the original score for the independent film Miracle 7. Frank is the chief executive officer and owner of Dunamis Production Studios in Jacksonville, Florida. So even though I massacred the music, I sincerely apologize to you.
No, don't trip, Chef. It's
No,
okay.
the playback was cool.
You use foreground music. You meant to use background music.
Nah, what it is if anybody's familiar with Canva, if you tap a button too quickly, it'll double up. So basically what happened when I was creating that situation, it was obviously 2 audio tracks that were on there.
Playing simultaneously.
Right, playing simultaneously. But Frank Cleveland, if you Google Frank Cleveland and SoundCloud, you will pull up his music. You will pull up the bio that I provided you guys, as well as a nice version of the track that was playing that I massacred. So peace to you, Frank. I apologize. I owe you a tomahawk steak, a lobster, or if you don't, deal with mud bug stuff, then I owe you some chicken. All right. But yeah. I wish Frank was here. Can you talk to me, please? And Frank is a busy dude, man. He's putting a lot of work because in terms of all the meetings we had, I think I've seen Frank at 1 meeting, right? Because he's doing a lot. So the other Frank, Frank Cleveland, right? So this Frank that's hanging out with us, can you tell us this Frank? Can you tell us about that, Frank, please?
That's Frank.
This
So put some respect on his name.
the tale of two Franks.
I know, right?
Like
And
we
you
had
know what?
nations and shit.
The tale of two Franks.
And he ain't the only one. Just so you know, I'm gonna probably head off real soon because I have my day starts at 6.
Oh, we're about to wrap.
Okay, yeah, he's
My
trying to
girl.
drag him out all night with the Nighthawks.
Oh, no.
Busy man.
We actually rapping closer than you think, bro. Trust me.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
what do you think?
Yeah, that's what's up. But we actually met. He tells the story. I believe on either my main channel or one of my channels where we linked up to do work on Love Trap, and he that's how we linked up. Another God connection. And he tells the story of how that was his first score, and much in the same way that I've interacted with everyone that was selected for this cast for Life or Death. It was the same thing. I heard his work, responded to some what I very easily perceived as his talent and his ability to perceive and execute. And again, God connection. It's like I feel like God just put him in front of me, and then it's just up to me to see it. And he like points at, and boom, as there's a confirmation in my spirit. And next thing you know, we working together. We forming forging a path together. And that's what it was with him. Very talented, worked really closely, good brother, up and down. And the talent speaks for itself. When he one of my favorite parts of Love Trap is the way it ends. It's very powerful, and the score has a lot to do with how it comes across. And I'm very, very proud of how he was able to just seal the deal with what his talents are in it. So brought him back again for Life or Death, and looking forward to making that connection one more time.
What was it that made you pick him though? Like, was it the same way with us, or because a lot of us, everybody who decides, oh damn, I want to rap, they know somebody who makes beats, they know somebody that's connected to somebody who got a studio. And you being an Emmy Award winning content creator, what was it that made you choose Frank? Because that's the DJ. He's the MC. He moves the crowd. Like Rakim said, MC, my name, it moves the crowd. So what made you choose him as the person to create, that musical undertow to drive your story? Because I know you heard music from a lot of people.
Yeah, I did. It's it really is. I can't stop giving God the credit. I can't. He put him in front of me, and for me, it's just recognizing, because, like you said, it's so. For example, much in the same way that a lot of people read for your role, Chef Bus. A lot of people wanted Bus, and they auditioned for Bus. And they came, I invited some people to call back for Bus, but they auditioned. But you got Bus. You didn't even audition. I called you, bruh. I called Chef, and I didn't call and send him an email. You see what I'm saying? There was something I saw in Frank that, for me, confirmation in my spirit, I know he can do it. That's what I'm going with. Out of all the different musical artists and people that came in, shoot, God put it right in front of me. Boom, this is the one, and I know it. Wait till you guys see what Chef do with Bus. You're gonna know what I'm talking about when you see when I say that I know Chef can do it. So that's a hard question to ask. How did you? Why did you? You see what I'm saying? Because I move from a position of a firm conviction in, you know, in how I respond and what's being given to me. You know, I call it truth, firm conviction and truth. You know, I see it, I recognize it. Okay, that's done deal.
Wow. So I'll say this. It's funny you said that. So this was probably one of my biggest things because I had my SAG card at a young age. So I was an extra in I was in music videos previously when I was a dancer. That's for another show. I was an extra in a couple movies. I was an extra in New Jack City, and then the New Year's scene with Flavor Flav. And then I was an extra and actually one of the location managers for Above the Rim. All right. I had gone on tour with one of my best friends. We went to a school called Samuel J. Tilden High School in Brooklyn, in East Flatbush, Brooklyn. Me, Special Ed, Busta Rhymes, Chip Food, Foo Schnickens, DJ Clark Kent. It was a lot of people, a rapper named Queen Pen. It was a lot of us that were industry heads or into music at the time. And, you know, so I had the opportunity to bring certain things over to the school, right? So that was that. But outside of that, you know, I wasn't doing big stuff. I wasn't doing starring stuff. I was back behind the scenes. So outside of what I'm doing with Frank, this was probably one of the biggest things right here. Hold on one second. Yeah.
I'm your idol, your highest title, numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know.
Dude was spitting some serious fire.
Got a little island of my very own.
I've got a frog, a dog with a solid gold bone.
I get paid when my record is played, to put it short.
Effortless bragging.
I got it made.
Special Ed on an all-new Unsung, Sunday at 9 on TV One.
So that was one of my things where I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Of course, and we was on the same ride crew. That was my homie. And I ended up going on tour with him, spending a lot of time on the road in my teenage years. You know, he's like how I got into the industry. But, and I managed him for almost a decade, right? So that was my thing. But just to talk about what Frank was talking about, I want to give you guys an impression of my entry into this thing that Frank is mentioning.
What I'll do is kind of intro the scene for the chat. This is a short scene, everybody, where what's happening is that Bus is kind of a small time street gangster, got his own crew, and they are setting up right now to set up a deal, you know, a transaction, a street pharmaceutical transaction, where, you know, they're going to go out and they're planning for it. And Bus is a very calculating individual, and he's got some plans for how he wants this to go down. So we see him kind of schooling Caleb and Roy on what he wants, how he wants this to go. And during the scene, you know, one of the characters kind of has an objection to kind of what's going on here, and we see Bus put a little straightening on him. All right, so that's where we at. So I'm not going to read any of the I won't read any of the description here. I'm going to do like we did with the last one. I'm just going to let you guys take it from the first line. And that first line opens with Bus. All right, so you guys ready?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, good. So this first time, we'll just run it through. I'm not going to give you anything. I understand it's not going to be perfect at all, but you know how we work. We'll take it from there. All right, so let's take it from the top. Bus's line. I'm going to go ahead and pull my cam and action.
Just like the squad, you need to get there early. That way they won't have time to go looking around. It's the perfect spot. You know why they went with it, right? That's all them country clowns know. Bushes and trees. Okay. If they just want to give it to me like that, I'll take it.
Why you sending the whole squad, though? See, what I'm telling you is I could take them all out by myself. You don't even got to worry about it, bro.
I'm aware of that. In chess, you never unduly expose a power piece, Roy. The squad will be all in them bushes, Caleb. Gonna teach this newcomer the game. City style. Now, Roy, you hang back. Let Caleb work them. Let them see you playing so they don't get nervous. Stay alert. They might be tricky, but I doubt it. Now you better make them show it to you. Then walk back to the trunk like the cash is in there. As soon as you're clear, the squad's gonna take the ones that strapped. Roy, you clean it up, but one thing. Leave whoever's running point for them to Caleb.
What?
It's your birthday, Caleb. And do I have something special for you when you get back? But this it. You got to earn it.
Boss, you want me to shoot somebody? No, I can't do that.
This time you don't have a choice. I've been coddling you for long enough, like a newborn. Speaking of which, how old is little man now?
7 weeks.
So 7 weeks I've been giving you a pass. It's cool. Family matters. But now playtime's over. Today you're 21. Grown man.
Understand it's not going to be perfect at all, but you know how.
Yo, you killed that. I see why he got that part. He killed
Yeah,
it.
that voice. I always told you had an iconic voice.
No. We not just gonna zoom past. You talking about country boys in the bushes and the trees? That's all. We like.
There you go.
All right, we not just gonna
Now
zoom
we got one country boy in the room. He like, man, y'all knew this bullshit. That's what you think.
Frank, you wrote that in there.
Yeah, I wrote that. But that's how. See, that's how they see us, though. That's how them New Yorkers. That's so you know that's the truth of the situation right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Chef, you did your thing. You did your thing. I see why you got picked. I missed your audition, so yeah, you killed it.
Well, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate that. You get what I'm saying?
That iconic ass voice.
Yo, all I know
That's just stage one. Trust me. That's.
Oh yeah, that's not even the only thing that we got recorded, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't want to give up the goods. So in terms of the editing, the specific editing, I left it where it was.
Yeah, you left it where it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yo, it's this man knows how to write. This man knows how to write. You get what I'm saying? Normally I won't let no man talk to me in certain ways, but in this thing here, yo, I'll let him play Ike and I'll be anime. Just for this thing here. Only for this thing here, Brooklyn. Y'all hear me, Brooklyn? Only for this thing here. Because that help me feed y'all. But look, listen. That writing is something special. And it gave me the ability to encapsulate and to continue to encapsulate that particular character and understand, you know, the kind of, I ain't gonna say what I know, but I know that I communicated with Frank in terms of what my understandings of who that character is and the idiosyncrasies, the subtle nuances of him and how he moves. And it seemed like he was like, yeah, he figured it out. So all I could tell y'all is to stay tuned. All right. Now, we've been doing this thing here for a minute, right? What I would like to do is two things. One, I would like to make sure I bring one last character up for y'all to see the one last character. And then what I want to do, normally we end the show with vibing, right? We're not ending the show with vibing tonight. I will say that because this is a life and death show. So what I'm going to do, because we have Hef in the spot, and I think he needs to smile, we're going to end the show with one last character, and then we're going to let everyone here bid their adieus, and then we're going to go out with a specially selected selection, a perfectly selected selection for us to move out of this piece. All right. So this one is for you, Hev. Here we go. It's one of the characters that you may not expect to see.
What up, y'all? My name is Gucci. And I'm one of the members of the cast of Life or Death, the live graphic novel experience directed by Emmy Award-winning filmmaker Frank B. Goodin II. Pardon me, y'all. You all might remember me from the viral meme called I Smack Your Mama. Stop! Sorry, y'all. I had some old tuna. In this revolutionary production, I play Caleb's cat named Julio. That's right. Julio. I just don't play just some old regular, simple old house cat. You know, I'm a cat that lived the street life. You know, I got bagged up selling illegal catnip on the corner a couple years, you know. Stay tuned to the production, though, man. I think y'all gonna see a cinematic experience for yourselves. Peace out. Meow, meow, y'all.
Meow, meow, y'all.
Meow, meow, y'all. So,
Not some regular old house cat.
Right. Before I let y'all know how we going to be leaving this wonderful, wonderful promo pre-premiere stream of Life or Death, the live graphic novel experience, I would like each of the people here to speak their speak. I'm going to let Vic, normally Vic goes last before me, right? But this is, you know, in the crib, this is y'all venue. We giving up the venue tonight, so I'm going to let Vic and Hef go first. I'm going to let Hef go first, then Vic.
Oh man, always a pleasure to come and rock with the Nighthawks. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Goodin. I look forward to seeing your works and everything you got going on. If you ever find a need for a talent such as myself, you know, reach out to me. I would love to contribute to a black work of art, and man, that would be a blessing in itself. So I look forward to everything you got going on. You look like a great talent, man, and it was a pleasure to get to meet you, Chef. You know how I feel about you. You always show me great love and give me my flowers while I'm here. That can never be taken for granted. Miss Patrice, pleasure to see you again. Vic, you know how I rock with you. Pleasure to see you. So, man, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep building, keep growing. I love this show, man. You know you can always expect me to pop back up. As y'all already learned, HAH, Big Hef on all platforms. TikTok is where I'm popping the most. Come show me some love. If y'all want to catch me on YouTube doing my live show, Mr. O Just Living, every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. You can catch us popping our stuff. So, yeah.
Pleasure's all mine. Nice to meet you too, Big.
Nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet
My
you.
man,
Hi, family.
Hold it down. I'm going to bring you down. And then now we're going to go to my man, my partner in crime, the guy that helps me create a lot of this stuff here more than y'all understand. All right? Victor Freeze, a.k.a. Just Vic. Let him know how special you are, okay?
Look, when I compare myself to myself, that's it. I'm not special because I'm not where I need to be just yet. I got a little more road to go before I can even lift my head up all the way. But when a crack in the door shine his light, like this brother's doing right here, it keep my eyes forward, and it's confirmation in the earth that I'm headed in the right direction. And the way that God will open doors, and this brother has done some amazing things thus far, and I'm, kind of way Kobe Bryant was headed, and he said that this next portion of his life would be greater than his first. I feel like you just now touching the surface, brother. So for the respect that I feel for what you're trying to do, whether you ever get it done or not, I can't see God being involved with it and you not accomplishing your goal. So I think Hef said everything else about the appreciation for everybody on the panel, and that was well said, and I co-sign that. So out of respect for you, I'm gonna keep it nice and short, brother. I appreciate being on the panel with you, and just looking at your work and what you got going, and if anything that I can do to help move your this or any future endeavors along, please reach out, and know you got my support for sure.
Thank you, brother. Brother, I see it, brother. We gonna connect. We gonna connect. Absolutely.
Frank, I
Yeah.
just tell you this. That dude right there, in terms of just thoughts, and you know what I mean? Like literally coming from the KWK situation and all of that, no disrespect to the other guy or whatever, you know what I mean? But this guy made it easier. And in terms of the thought process, all you need is a conversation with him for an hour. You're going to come up with some ideas. You get what I'm saying? So I don't keep people around me just to keep them around me. It had nothing to do with proximity. You know, all I can tell you is this: rock with him. You'll be able to pull some crazy ideas. This guy is a madman.
I'm telling you, and I already see that people use this term too much, but I already know this brother right here is a real one. I'm gonna leave it at that. This brother's a real one right there. So yeah, no, I already know we're gonna be connecting.
Yes. So, my sister.
Yes, my brother.
Please let them know. You know, I know me and you, she and I, we got into a wrestling match. You know what I mean? Because there was a conversation and they had this guy with the initials KS talking. So, you know, even I'm not a fan, but we were going at it. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate her level of strength, her level of tenacity. You get what I'm saying? And that's a talented sister right now. So now I let you go. I had to put a little extra cushion on the welcome mat. Please.
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. I'm just honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me to the platform to be a part of this. I'm telling y'all, I just believe it with every fiber of my being of where life or death is going to go for us when it hit these YouTube streets. I'm honored to work with everybody that has anything to do with this project. On the platform and behind the scenes is a bunch of talented people, and I'm just glad to be able to be a part of this and be able to work with Frank on this project. I look forward to it. I'm gonna give it all I got. The role of Ava, which is Caleb's mother, the main character, the role of Ava. I'm gonna bring everything that I can, what I see that Ava is as a true woman of God, and I'm gonna bring every fiber of my being out in making that happen. So, thank you again. I'm just excited. I'm ready to go to work. I'm just excited about the project.
And I can't wait. I can't wait for people to see what you do with Ava. I can't wait.
I know it's a dun 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 dun.
Yes.
So
Ava's serious.
So I'm not bringing y'all down, but remember, some of us just tend to enjoy coming in, going to the fridge, laying our ass on the couch, and going to sleep in the house. But we never say a prayer for the one that laid the bricks to that house. Lay some bricks for them, please, my brother. My great architect.
Brother, Chef Supino, I appreciate you so much for this platform and this show right now, what you've done. You've absolutely surprised me with the level of thoughtfulness and intentional. I'm trying to say reality, and that might be making a word up, but you are being very, very intentional about what you did with this show tonight and the amount of work that you put in to execute making this pre-show support show a reality, coming up to what we're going to do. I appreciate you so much. I'm blessed to have you as a part of the project in more ways than one, not just the sheer talent that you're going to bring to this role, but everything else that you're bringing. So I just want to make sure I make the space and time to thank you, first of all, for this. I guess the thing I kind of want to leave everybody with is kind of where I started, which is just check it out. Just turn your eyes on it on Saturday, 8 p.m. In terms of what we're doing with Life or Death, because really that's where the whole thing starts. I have made mention, and I'm so glad that we had some people pick up on the fact that, while we're starting with Life or Death with this is just the very beginning of, prayerfully, God willing, something that will grow into some very interesting directions. And it really is about opening doors and opportunities for, everyone that's involved in the project, and then further to inspire people to do things like it. So it all starts with just turning your attention to what we're going to do on Saturday night, 8 p.m. on the Life or Death channel. And if it's something that that grabs your attention, stay with it. You putting me up here by myself. I like to be behind the scenes. I talked about this before. I like to be behind the scenes. I want to do the work and let other people, as much as possible, kind of let other people know. So thank you. You brought me back down. Thank you. So I just want to let you know I appreciate it. Just definitely come and for the people, I think you're going to get something very special, very unique. I do believe it's never been done before on YouTube, and I think it's going to be powerful, impactful, and I think everybody's going to have a whole lot of fun doing it. We're going to have fun doing it. It's going to be an experience across the board. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back to you, Buzz Chef. Thank you so much. Oh, you muted.
Yeah, they on the rap game, they call me MC Mute. But yo, listen, man. All I could tell you is, thank you, my brother. Thank you. I'm a 49-year-old dude that's immature. I don't know how to act like a 49-year-old dude. I was a late bloomer in high school, so the high school I went to, a lot of white folks in there. There was only maybe 20 black people out of 1,000, 900 to 1,000. Freshman year, they all had goatees and mustaches. I had nothing, And what I'm saying is that I was a late bloomer, but as I move forward into this thing here, I always looked as maybe in certain things I might have thought a greatness aspect of myself, but I'd hear people talk, but people talk, oh, your voice, oh, this, that, and the other. Hey, you're a smart dude, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Something that you did in terms of you communicating with me, not based on any connections to anything, clout chasing, this, that, and the other. You happen to call me and you happen to hit me with the email and long email, and you literally let me know, yo, I got this thing I've been working on, this character, and it's crazy. You line up with it. So is it you? Is it God? We'll never know. But there's one thing that I know is this. I want to keep the connection open and keep that open flow. We're going to get technical. That open flow of bandwidth available so that we can have that free flow of information, you know? And when I get off the phone with folks, I don't say, and I'm about to bring you off the screen for this one, brother, right? When I get off the phone with folks, one thing I don't say goodbye. Let me take these shades off. I don't say goodbye. Goodbye is final. I say see you later. And in talking about that, you know, when you know you're in a situation with people or a situation with someone and you feel that situation is positive to you and it's reciprocally positive to them, neither one of you will ever have the freaking strength to say goodbye. So here's how we end in this beautiful thing tonight. We're going to end this beautiful thing by noise from a beautiful bird, but I won't call them a bird. I'm going to call them a beautiful flower that's accompanied by a gentleman named Ken Young, to let you know neither one of us has the strength to say goodbye, and I will not say goodbye to you. All I could tell you is peace. See you later. Love you, and thank you for coming through.
It's sad to think that we're not gonna make it. This is what I told them, y'all. And it's got to the point.
That's OG Patrice, y'all.
And we just can't fake it.
Songbird, baby.
For some ungodly reason, we just won't let it die. So I guess neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Y'all give her a hand. I keep wondering what I'm gonna do without you and them boots around.
Thanks for joining us.
And I guess you must be wondering the same thing too.
God is good, y'all.
So we just go on together, living a lie.
God did this, y'all.
Because neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye.
Well, let's try and work this out. I never can say goodbye. 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 One more thing. Girl, you know I love you. I know you do. Ain't clowning up here, you gotta be clowning. Because neither one of us wants to be the first to say farewell, my love.
Neither one of us has the strength to say goodbye. And God is good. So I will not say goodbye. I will say peace. See you later. Be safe. And thanks for being part of this thing. Tune in on Saturday. We finna change your life. God bless. Thanks for joining. Chef.